Two programs will look to get back in the win column as Jewell College hosts Lincoln University of Missouri. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mark Miller, and you're watching the GLVC Sports Network. John Weigel's Cardinals of Jewell 1-5 overall, 1-3 in the GLVC, coming off a 59-21 road loss at last week to Missouri S&T. Cardinals defense struggled from the get-go as Missouri S&T scored on its first 6 possessions, including 5 touchdowns. In total, the Miners put points on 9 of 13 possessions. Cardinals' first quarter scoring woes continue as the team failed to score in the first quarter in their first 6 games of the season. Sophomore quarterback Will Schneider continues to showcase his talent, though, throwing for 192 yards and 2 scores, 17 for 34 passing day. Cardinals didn't turn the ball over, but didn't force a turnover either. Cardinals will also look to improve on third down efficiency, going just 1 for 12 in last week's loss. This note, Cardinals' Bullet Graf surpassed 3,000 yards last week of all-purpose yards. Well, second-year head coach Stephen Smith, Blue Tigers of Lincoln University are 2-5, 1-3 in the GLVC, coming off a 2013 setback against Truman State last Saturday. Blue Tigers rallied for 13 in the fourth quarter, but fell a touchdown short. Sophomore quarterback Henry Ogala threw for 201 yards and 2 scores, one going 77 yards to wide receiver Blake Tibbs. Ogala will look for more protection from his front line this week after being sacked 5 times a week ago against Truman State. Blue Tigers are searching for their first multi-conference win season since 2013. When I come back, we'll get the pregame thoughts of Jewell head coach Sean Weigel. You're watching the GLVC Sports Network. From the campus of Jewell College in Liberty, Missouri, you're watching the GLVC Network. I'm Mark Miller, and this is the Sean Weigel pregame show. Coach, the Cardinals run into a buzzsaw named Missouri S&T a week ago, falling 59-21 on the road. Sustaining drives, getting points in the first quarter, continuing to elude this Cardinals team, being shut out in the first quarter in all games this season. If scoring early is a problem, what type of solutions are you and your staff mulling over?
Well, we just got to start fast. I mean, and then you finish the first drive. You know, we'll pick up a couple first downs and everything will go great, and then we'll have something silly happen. You know, we get a sack or a penalty of some sort, and that puts us in a first and long situation. Now you're behind the 8 ball trying to dig out of that early on. And you know, we've missed some opportunities, too, in the first quarter where we could get points on the board and miss a field goal or something. So, you know, if those things are going to happen, I just prefer to know beforehand, and then we'll go for it, you know. But, you know, we just keep working at it, and that's something. It's been a point of emphasis here for a few weeks, and one of these days it's gonna happen. Just like our third down efficiency, it's been a huge point of emphasis, you know, to sustain drives, and then, you know, that helps protect our defense as well. And it's, you mentioned a buzzsaw at Missouri S&T, and you know, that's what I told our guys. When we show up again, it can't be a mystery of what we're going to get. And it seems like every week there's something. Well, we're going to give up multiple sacks this week. We're going to drop balls this week. We're going to fumble from the running back position this week. You know, we're not going to be sound in coverage this week. You know, so just I think we've gotten rid of all that stuff, and today just go have fun and play.
When you look at today's opponent, Lincoln University, they've had trouble protecting their QB, Henry Ogala. He was sacked 5 times last week in their loss. When you look at the Missouri team, Lincoln University Missouri team on film, is there an opportunity here for the defense to make a play?
Yeah, I believe so. You know, and so we'll be putting some different looks at their offensive line. They're really big up front, so you just got to stay with it, be relentless, and eventually they get tired, and then that's when the sacks start happening.
How was this week's preparation coming off the loss? How was this team's? How's your team prepare this week? And I know you're fighting through some injuries, especially in the offensive line.
Yeah, it was. We had a really good week of preparation, and that was something. You know, last week we basically lost our Tuesday practice, which is a huge day with all the rain and lightning and stuff in the area. So we went inside and were able just to kind of get some walkthrough stuff done on Tuesday. Well, we had every practice this week, and the energy was good. The guys are answering the call.
That's the thoughts, the pregame thoughts of head coach Sean Weigel of William Jewell College. Starting lineups are straight ahead. You're watching the GLVC Sports Network. Mark Miller alongside Lucas Campbell back here at Green Stadium on the campus of William Jewell College. It's William Jewell against Lincoln University. And Lucas, let me bring you in here. This is a series that William Jewell has done well, winning the last two games these teams have played.
Yeah, Mark, it's good to be here again with you on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. As you were saying, the Cardinals first met with the Tigers in 2014 with the Jewell 20-13 win, and Jewell has won every series since then, and they would love to get one today to carry a little momentum before going to McKendree next week to round out GLVC play.
You know, the first quarter woes, and I talked about this with Coach Weigel, scoring woes. When I read that statistic in game prep here that the Cardinals haven't scored in the first quarter all season long, that needs to change. That needs to be improved on, plus third down efficiency. Cardinals need to do better than they did a week ago against Missouri S&T, just 1 for 12.
Yeah, Jewell, they've moved the ball pretty well in the first quarter. They've just missed a few opportunities to score, so hopefully they can get some of that luck switched around and capitalize on some of those big opening drives.
Let's start off with the starting lineups here. First of all, for our visitors, Lincoln University, the Blue Tigers, coached by second-year head coach Stephen Smith, 2-5 overall, 1-3, coming off that 20-13 loss a week ago to Truman State. They'll start this way on offense. Henry Ogala, the sophomore QB, 87 for 156, a couple of picks and 7 touchdowns, 1,167 yards through the air. Was sacked 5 times last week against Truman State. That might be an opportunity for the Cardinal defense to take advantage and maybe make a play. Across the starting line, left tackle, Jacoby Craddock. Left guard, Drake Rucker. Center, Sorrell Spells. Right guard, Jamal Brown. Right tackle, Dakota Cox. Receivers, Antonio Isaac, Justin Coricaso, and Blake Tibbs, who had the big 77-yard touchdown pass reception a week ago. He's only had 4 catches, but 158 yards and the big score last week. On offense for William Jewell and Sean Weigel in his 4th season, Cardinals come in 1-5 overall, 1-3 in GLVC play. Some changes up front. Left guard will be Zach Hand. Left guard Jake Kapuska is out today. Center will be Tanner Vance. Right guard Danny Pressler. Left tackle Jonathan Farmer. Right tackle Caleb White. Receivers Keelan Vaughn, the Piper High School graduate, 13 catches, 192 yards, and 2 scores. Will Schneider's at quarterback. Snyder, the Shawnee Mission East Lancer, 95 of 197, a couple of picks, 5 touchdowns, 1,093 yards throwing. He's run for 293 yards and a touchdown. Bula Graff, who just surpassed 3,000 all-purpose yards a week ago in the loss to Missouri S&T, will start. Zach Gaudette and Wyatt Miller. We'll get to the defense. Tight end is also going to be Nick Fisher. Anthony Pritzel, the backup QB, plays wide receiver as well. William Jewell will kick it off. Dalton Dye, the sophomore, will tee it up, going left to right. Back to receive the kick. Donovan Wright, Hassan Muhammad Rogers. Rogers averaging about 22.9 yards per kick. We are underway. Glad you're with us. Sunny afternoon here in Kansas City. And at the 6-yard line, Blue Tigers have it. He'll get some running room to the outside, then wrestled down to about the 27-yard line. And that's where the Blue Tigers will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, you mentioned those 5 sacks they gave up last week, and that's going to be a big storyline here for the William Jewell Cardinals. Look out for inside linebacker Antonio Wabaminki, who won GLVC Defensive Players Honor once this year and would definitely love to win it again.
So Ogala, the sophomore QB. Kimbo Ferguson is the junior tailback. The H-back is Johnny Johnson. They'll start in an offset eye out of the shotgun. Hands in front of him, chest high snap. Will hand it off and straight ahead. Nothing fancy on 1st and 10. Short gain out to the 32, 2nd down and 7. For the Blue Tigers, who come in here averaging 273 yards of total offense. Once they get it into the red zone, this Blue Tigers team has had success. They've scored 13 out of 16 times in the red zone. 11 of those have been resulted into a touchdown. See that Cardinal defense, who played very well 2 weeks ago in the win over Southwest Baptist. See if the Cardinals defense can get the ball back, get good field position, and try to get some points on the board. Out of the pistol, shotgun, turned, handoff straight ahead. And Kimbo Ferguson runs over a Cardinal defender and has that initial 1st down of the afternoon as he runs it out to the 40, just about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, the key for the Cardinals is they got to come out here and they got to start quick. They've been a little rusty coming out at the start of the game every single week, so the defense has got to focus getting these Tigers off the field and then trying to get some points on the board early.
Well, 2 straight running plays here featuring Ferguson. Nothing fancy here for Lincoln University. Just running straight ahead behind that front line led by their center, Sorrell Spells. Little off tackle play, and he'll forward it out to near the 46-yard line before a host of Cardinals in their black uniforms and white helmets make the hit. Early on here, glad you're with us. On a Saturday afternoon in Liberty, Missouri, Mark Miller and Lucas Campbell, I'll get that right, Lucas, are here broadcasting this GLVC game featuring 2 teams that are looking for a win, trying to rebound from a defeat a week ago. 2nd down, we'll call it 6. Need to make just about the 48-yard line in Cardinal territory to move the chains. Staying on the ground and now some room to run. Kicks it to the outside, gets upended. He's going to be close to the 1st and 10. Alex Jimenez, the 5'11", 170-pound senior cornerback, upends the ball carrier, but not until, and it's been the Kimbo Ferguson show here thus far, running for another 1st and 10. Ball rests on the left hash at the 47-yard line in Cardinal territory. This is the initial drive of the game. 12:15 left here in the opening quarter. Offset eye, the H-back is Johnny Johnson. Turn, handoff, Ferguson. Nothing fancy. Jumped over a man at about the 45, falls forward. I think his forward momentum is going to get him to the 41-yard line. So I don't know if this Lucas is setting up for play action or not, but a run, you may look for Tibbs or Justin Coricaso as wide receivers here, because right now, only thing that the Blue Tigers are doing is just pounding the rock.
Just good old classic Midwest football.
3 yards in a cloud of dust, and that's what they're trying to do here to this Cardinal defense early on. 2nd down and short. They'll take 5-6 yards every time. This time the Cardinals step up and hit the ball carrier right at the line of scrimmage. They might give him a yard to near the 40-yard line. But the Cardinals jump up. Major Walker was one of the Cardinals in on the hit. They'll give him a yard, now bring up the first 3rd down of the game. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Ball rest in between the hash marks at the 40-yard line. Need to make just outside the 37. We'll call it 3rd and a long 2 here for the Blue Tigers. Tight formation, run, pass option. Now they're in a wildcat, and the Cardinals smell it out, and down he goes. They did not have Ogala in the backfield, and the Cardinals smelled that out and wrap up the ball carriers and went with a wildcat. They'll lose back to the 45-yard line and force a punt for Lincoln University.
That's exactly what Coach Weigel was trying to see out of his defense early on. It gave him a little more yards than they'd probably like, but the key part was keeping him out of the red zone, more importantly, keeping him out of the end zone.
Back to kick will be Wolke Bellencourt. He boots it away. Nice kick. That'll drive William Jewell back inside their 10 and a fair catch. And on the reception on the punt was Zach Gaudet. Gaudet called for the fair catch. I don't know if inside the 10, maybe he should have let that bounce or not to get into the end zone. But he goes ahead and makes the fair catch, and the Cardinals will have their first possession of the game with 10:03 to play in the opening quarter. Led by Shawnee Mission East product QB, Will Schneider. He'll start in the shotgun. Bula Graf, Zach Gaudet, Keelan Vaughn, the wide receiver. Hand up straight up the middle. And he'll get it out near the 15, closer maybe about the 14-yard line, so a pickup of a few yards. And a pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Will Schneider is such a threat for this Cardinal offense. You know, you mentioned he only has roughly over 200 yards rushing, but all of those rushing yards come at very opportune times. So if you're the Tigers, you cannot let Schneider scramble there in the backfield because he will break one off on you.
Yeah, he is a dual threat to run the football. He can take off. He had a winning touchdown run a couple of weeks ago. Schneider sets up, throws. Over the middle, had a man open, but overthrows his intended receiver trying to get it to Bula Graf, and Graf catches that. He still may be running. All right, I'll bring up a 3rd down and 6. Just a little off target, that initial throw by Schneider, the sophomore QB. He's completed 95 at 198 passes this season. A couple of picks and 5 touchdowns on the season. A week ago, he was 17 of 34 for the 192 yards. They ran for 35. 3rd down and 6. Cardinals would like to get a 1st and 10 here just to get out of the shadow of their end zone if they've got to kick the football away on a punt. 4 in the pattern, Schneider out of the gun. Drops straight back, surveys, throws an out route. It's going to be a one-handed attempt at about the 28-yard line. It's going to fall incomplete, and the Cardinals are going to have to kick it away. So Dalton Dye, averaging 40.5 yards a kick, had 8 punts a week ago, 43 yards average. He'll come in to boot this away. Back to receive will be Hassan Muhammad Rogers, stands just inside his 50-yard line. So at the goal line, Dye. Erdman will snap it. There's the snap. End-over-end kick. It'll hit at the 45-yard line, take a sideways bounce for William Jewell to be down at the 41. 45-yard kick, and Lincoln University will have their second possession of the game.
It'll be interesting to see if the Lincoln offense brings out Ferguson again to see if they try that run attack or if they try to break out some play action here on this drive.
Other games going on today. Truman State's at Southwest Baptist, 2 o'clock kickoff. Missouri S&T at Quincy. McHenry at Indianapolis. Both of those are 5 o'clock kickoffs this afternoon. Yeah, it was all the Kimbo Ferguson show on that initial drive, and then they went to the Wildcat and had to punt. Nice hurdle at about the 45-yard line goes Ferguson, and right back to number 4, and he'll run it near the midfield stripe. And again, the Cardinal defense aren't going to be able to continue these 5 and 6 yard gains on 1st and 10 because it really puts them in a hole, and it opens up the playbook here for Lincoln University. A lot of options here on a 2nd and 4 out of a 6 yard gain on 1st and 10 by Kimbo Ferguson. Quarterback is Henry Ogala. Ogala has not attempted a pass yet. Handoff Ferguson, but nice pursuit, and down he goes. Cardinals shot in there and make the tackle. Antonio Wabanimki, 24 tackles and a pick for the junior, the 6'2" 6'2", 230-pounder, read that, shot the gap, and forced a loss.
Yeah, the Cardinals have got to find a way to stop Ferguson and force Ogala to beat them through the air.
Ogala just about a little over a 50% passer. Cardinals need to force a turnover. Last week they didn't turn it over, but they couldn't stop Missouri S&T and didn't get any turnovers in that game. Cardinals need to force one here. Big play, 3rd down 5. 7:51 to play here in the opening quarter. No score. Ogala back to throw, sets up, throws over the middle. It's going to be caught at the 50. And it'll just be based on the mark, the spot of where they're going to mark this football. I think he's going to be short of the 1st and 10. It'll be a 4th down and 1.
And now you wonder if they just give the ball to Ferguson and let him run it up the middle, or if they're going to attempt the punt here.
I don't see Wolke Bellencourt coming into the game. Ogala looking over at his head coach and offensive coordinator. And it's go time here for the Blue Tigers. They're at the 49. They trust their defense, and now they're going to burn it out. I thought he might have called a timeout. Up to the line, they'll stay in the shotgun. 4th down and 1. And now I think Ogala was signaling for a timeout. But then they go ahead and take that timeout. We'll take a quick break here. Take a timeout. You're watching live on the GLVC Sports Network.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Hadn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Kimbo Slice's son, because Kimbo Slice's real name is Kevin Ferguson.
Oh, really? Okay.
Just a UFC fighter.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Mark Miller and Lucas Campbell back here at Green Stadium, the campus of Jewell College. You're watching the GLVC Sports Network. 4th down and short. 4th and 1. It's go time here for the Tigers. They've moved the ball in the ground in their first possession. Look for Kimbo Ferguson maybe to get it. Out of the gun is Ogala. Turns, hands off. Ferguson nowhere. Going nowhere. Sacked immediately. Dropped at the 49-yard line. And guess who? Antonio Wabanimke was the first man there to hit him. He got some help. So the gamble does not go the way of the Tigers, the Blue Tigers. And now Jewell has that stop on downs and a short field to work with.
This is exactly what the Cardinals needed there. Try to get some points here on the board early. I'll tell you, Wabaminki is just an absolute animal out there on defense.
Out of the shotgun, 4 in the pattern. The QB's Will Snyder. Out of the pistol. Gets the center exchange. Fakes the handoff, and Snyder's going to be wrapped up and dropped. And there was nothing going on there. Somebody was a breakdown on the offensive line. And the Blue Tigers take advantage of it and drop Snyder back at the 45. Not the way you want to start on a short field. That makes it now 2nd and 16. So Snyder out of the gun. Look for a passing opportunity here. 4-man front. They'll drop 7 into coverage. Snyder back. Wide receiver screen. Receivers got it outside the 50. It'll get back the yards lost on the sack. And that was Keelan Vaughn, who makes his 14th catch of the season. Now it's 3rd down and 9. That sack is on that 1st and 10 has typified the woes the Cardinals have had in the first quarter this season. Big play here, 3rd and 9. You're not in 2-down territory, so the Cardinals need to pick one up here. Snyder rolls, throws across his body, has a man. Graff can't make the catch. He got popped pretty hard by a defender, and it'll be incomplete. And I see Is that a flag back at about the 46-yard line? Is that going to be? There is a flag. Personal foul. And they're going to call roughing the passer, so the Cardinals get a break and an automatic 1st and 10. Today's head referee is Brad Carroll. Umpire Derek Dietz. Head linesman Jamie Quell. Line judge Kurt Biter. Field judge Scott Moore. Side judge Stan Loperman. And back judge is Ryan O'Neal. So the Cardinals in good field position here at the 33-yard line of Lincoln University. Out of the gun. Handoff, some room to run, makes a man miss. Gets about 3 yards to the 30-yard line.
That's big for the Cardinals there. They've just been digging themselves a hole on 1st down so far in both previous possessions. So getting that quick 4 or 5 yard pickup is key for this offense.
That was Ty Bowles on the run there for the Cardinals. No, you're exactly right, Lucas. I mean, that's what the Cardinals, they need to get positive yards every play. It needs to have something work and get some positive yardage and keep this drive alive. 2nd down, we'll call it 2nd and 6. Just inside the 30-yard line, going left to right here at Green Stadium. Snyder's bullet pass is going to be caught at the 25, to the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Damari Wilson is a recipient of that laser shot by Will Schneider. And now the Cardinals are moving inside the 20-yard line, inside the red zone, and knocking on the door here with 4:42 to play in the opening quarter.
Great play. I would say great play there by Wilson. Looked like he got tripped up there right off the line of scrimmage, but able to get up and make that catch.
This all started on a stoppage of downs on a 4th and 1. The Cardinal defense stopped Lincoln University on downs. Handoff to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and spins forward inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Ty Bowles gets his 2nd carry and gets positive yards, and now it's 1st and goal. Inside the 5, they'll mark it closer to the 3 on the right hash. Cardinals trying to do something they haven't done all year, score in the 1st quarter. Out of the gun, 3 to in the pattern to the left, lone receiver to the right, and that's Damari Wilson. Schneider gets the center exchange. Handoff. Bowles crashes, pushes. He's close to that end line, but couldn't get it over. Looked like he had a shot there to put in the end zone, but the defense corralled him just short, and they'll mark that inside the 1-yard line, about a half a foot from the goal line. It'll be second and goal for the Cardinals. Nick Fisher will check in, the sophomore tight end. It'll give a little bit more beef up front here for the Cardinals. Snyder will stay out of the gun here. Bowles the setback. He's got all of the carries thus far, now on the right hip of the left-handed quarterback. Snyder gets the handoff to Bowles. Touchdown!
There we go.
There we go. 3:07, you're right. 3:07 to play. And the Cardinals, for the first time this season, taste the end zone, and it tastes good. And the Cardinals lead at 6-0 with the PAT pending.
Yeah, that's just big there for the Cardinals to capitalize, 1, on the turnover of downs, and 2, getting that penalty there that saved them from a 3 and out.
Dalton Dye, perfect 13-13 for PATs for the sophomore. Dallas Crittenden will hold it. Erdman will snap it. Ball is down. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So a drive that started in Lincoln University territory results in a touchdown run of 1 yard by Ty Bowles. The PAT good, and Cardinals jump to a 7-0 lead here early on a Saturday afternoon in Liberty, Missouri. You're watching the GLVC Sports Network. Mark Miller alongside Lucas Campbell. Cardinals lead it 7-0. Kick's going to be fielded at the 10-yard line. That's by Donovan Wright. Wright will kick it to the outside and finally wrapped up and pushed out of bounds at about the 32-yard line, and then a late flag is thrown by the head referee. That flag went about 20 yards in the air. See if they're going to get an illegal block in the back, as the referees will confer. Touchdown by Bowles, a 1-yard plunge on a good drive, mixing in the pass and the run. Ball is marked at the 33, and this one looks like it's going to go against Lincoln University. Antonio Isaac gets called for the personal foul, and that wipes away some of that run back. And Lincoln University will set up now, shop back at third, 19-yard line on the left hash. It's exactly, Lucas, what the Cardinals needed. Get a break, and they started with the defensive side of the football for this Cardinal team. They got it. They stopped them on got good field position, and then took advantage of it and cashed it in the end zone. Ogala sets up, two-step drop, wants to throw, out route, safety valve, and that's going to be caught. And the receiver dropped after a short gain. Alex Harris Jr., the 5'8", 247-pound junior. How many passes that Harris has caught this season, but he makes a nice catch. And he'll gain good yardage up to the 28-yard line. Makes it a second down. Again, 9 yards on 1st and 10. Harris was not Ogala's first choice, but he looked off. Good secondary coverage by the Cardinals. Found Harris and now sets up a short second down and 1. Handoff Ferguson. And he's going to be right near the 1st and 10 marker. Needed to make the 29, and they're going to signal it 1st and 10. That William Jewell scoring drive, 7 plays, 49 yards, taking 346 again. Ty Bowles rushed it in from the 1-yard line, the PAT good, and that's where we stand at 7-0. New set of downs at the 30-yard line with a minute 50 to play here in the opening quarter. Cardinals lead it by a touchdown. Ogala back to throw. Rush comes and gets hit and dropped back at the 23-yard line. Cardinals pony up, rush the quarterback, and Zach Dobbins, the 6'2", 260-pound junior defensive end, makes the hit as the Blue Tigers decided to throw on a 1st and 10 there instead of going back to the bread and butter and to the run. And Dobbins and company came swooping in, dropped the QB. Now it's a 2nd and 17.
Coach Weigel's got to love what he sees here out of his juniors on his defense. And it's big because they got 7 coming back next year to play for him. So the more cohesive they can get and the more in sync, the better that Cardinals defense should be.
Now the Blue Tigers are going to have to burn their second time out of the first half with a minute left here in the first half, with the Cardinals leading 7-0. Well, libero of the volleyball team, Olivia Tolbert, in volleyball actually broke the school record for career digs this past Saturday at the region crossover. She got her 2,119th dig against Wisconsin Parkside. And get this, she did so after suffering what is most times a career-ending injury 2 weeks earlier. She also had broke her own NCAA-era single-season record twice during her career and is a 2-time All-GLVC selection. So, Olivia Tolbert, congratulations on an outstanding career, and Yeah, coming back and doing what she does on the volleyball court with that injury isn't easy to do, and she accomplished that. Men's and women's soccer will be at Bellarmine in southern Indiana this week, but back home on Wednesday for senior night versus Truman State. These matches will be at 5 and 7:30. 2nd and 17, 60 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Out of the gun, Ogala throws over the middle. It's going to be caught about the 33-yard line.
Out.
Ball comes loose, picked up by the Cardinals, and they're going to say the ball was down. Cardinals thought they had a gift. Alex Jimenez was dancing to the end zone, but they're going to say the receiver was down by contact. The pass was complete and ruled down at the 35-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Cardinals nearly got that turnover that they wanted here with 30.1 seconds left here in the third quarter. William Jewell will take a timeout here. Looking at current GLVC standings coming into this week, Indianapolis still they're 4-0, perfect record in the GLVC. They're followed by Truman State's 3-0, Missouri S&T 2-1, McHenry's 2-1, then Quincy and Lincoln 1-2, William Jewell 1-3, and Southwest Baptist 0-4. Again, other games going on this afternoon at 2, Truman State at Southwest Baptist. 5 o'clock kickoffs, Missouri S&T at Quincy, McHenry at Indianapolis. National polls, Indianapolis, that 5-1 record overall, has garnered them a number 14 ranking. Minnesota State in Division II football, still a perfect 7-0, the number 1 team in the nation. Big play here again for this Cardinal defense. 3rd down and 5. Ball rests at the 35-yard line in Blue Tiger territory. Back to throw. Ogala has some time, sprints to the outside. He's going to get the 1st and 10 at the 40, at the 45, 50, down the far sideline. Then this scoots out of bounds at the 45, 46-yard line. But a flag was thrown at about the 47. That may be an illegal block or possibly a hold. Ogala had gotten enough yards for the 1st and 10. Let's see what we get here from our head referee. 21.9 seconds left. Check that. It was an illegal block. It was a face mask. Personal foul against the Cardinals, so this will add on to the run. So a reversal of fortune here for the Cardinal defense as they'll move the football all the way down to the 31-yard line. So they get the big run. The Blue Tigers get the big run by Ogala and then get an added 15 yards on the personal foul. So now they're getting close to the red zone. They'll have a new set of downs. 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 31-yard line. Ferguson in the backfield, an offset eye. Alex Harris is in as a fullback or an H-back to the right hip of the QB. I think they're going to go ahead and let the clock run out. And that'll be at the end of 1. We've played a quarter here at Green Stadium on the campus of William Jewell College. A 1-yard touchdown run for the Cardinals, and the PAT have given William Jewell a 7-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. You're watching live on the GLVC Sports Network. Alongside Lucas Campbell, this is Mark Miller. 1st and 10, start of the second quarter here. Lincoln University has it at the 31-yard line in Cardinal territory. William Jewell leads at 7-0. Ogala sets up. Out route's going to be caught and dropped immediately. Let's see where they mark forward momentum out to the 20, down to the 26-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5. Catch was made by Blake Tibbs. And they'll mark it to the 20. Let's see where they actually mark the football. At the 27, it'll be a 4-yard gain. Second down and 6. Alex Harris is in as the H-back on the right hip of the QB, Henry Ogala. Kimbo Ferguson's got most of the carries. Fakes the handoff to Ferguson, the quarterback draw. And Ogala will get short yardage just inside the 25 and brings up a 3rd down and short.
Yeah, this is key here for the Cardinals. Been kind of an odd drive with the penalties, tempers flaring, a lot of momentum changing, especially when the Cardinals thought they had that fumble. So to be able to keep Lincoln out of the end zone here would be big time for the Cardinals and get that offense back on the field. Ferguson's definitely been the big story of the first half with 40 rushing yards on 10 attempts, averaging out to 3.7 yards per rush. So, would not be surprised here if they hand the ball off to him and let him pick up that first down.
3rd down and 4 out of the gun. Ogala said he'll throw for it. Out route's going to be caught at the 20-yard line. That's going to be enough for the 1st and 10. Oh. Justin Coracasco makes the catch, and forward momentum on the catch will get him to the 20. That'll be a yard more than the Blue Tigers needed. So that'll be in the red zone at the 20-yard line. Deepest penetration of the game thus far here for Lincoln University. 2-5 overall, 1-3 in the GLVC under second-year head coach Stephen Smith. And the Tigers are trying to knot this game up. This Cardinal defense has given up 166 yards, 182 yards and 244 passing. And they need to get tough here and try to keep Blue Tigers out of the end zone. Handoff Ferguson plows his way down to the 15-yard line behind right guard Jamal Brown and right tackle Dakota Cox. That'll give a 5-yard gain for Lincoln as they're getting closer and closer to that Cardinal end zone.
Yeah, the Tigers do a great job here on first down, taking off a good portion of that to get the first. Set up with the short 2nd and 3rd down, and that's kind of been their key today is when picking up 3rd downs is they're working with, 2-3 yards every time.
Coricaso is out wide to the left. They'll run the football. Be close to another 1st and 10. Goes Ferguson. A yard short of the 1st and 10, but it'll make it a manageable 3rd down and short here. Ty Bowles in that first quarter had 5 carries for 23 yards and the touchdown. Snyder just 2 for 4 for 22 yards. Ogala was 3 for 3 for 25 yards.
It'll be interesting to see if the Cardinals come out and try to establish more of that run game with the success they had late in that last drive.
The key in that first quarter, time of possession, over 10 minutes. They had the football and the handoff, and it's going to be short of the 1st and 10. Cardinals step up, plow into the running back, and that'll be short of the 1st and 10.
Bringing out the field goal unit here.
So 4th and 1, though they went for a 4th and 1 at their own 49, they defer going for it, 4th and 1 at the 11-yard line. A little surprise there as they'll bring in Fernando Ramirez. 5 for 12. It's not automatic here for Ramirez. He's had 3 blocked on the season. This will be a 28-yarder. Kicks on the way, and that one's blocked as well. Add to the total. Cardinals pick it up. That's a live football. And the Cardinals are running back to the 12-yard line. So on cue, the Cardinals, Thaddeus Green, the defensive back, the Bonner Springs, brave, recovers that block kick. Really surprised, Lucas, that Lincoln did not go for that on 4th down and 1 with the success they've had with Ferguson, but they don't. Try the field goal, and for the 4th time this season, it's blocked, and William Jewell gets the football back. 1st and 10 at their 12-yard line. 11:15 to play here in the second quarter. Up 7-0.
Yeah, I must have heard you down there when you said that he's had a couple blocks this year because it was right on cue.
Out of the gun is Schneider. I see the Cardinals can take advantage and get a good drive here. Deep in their own territory at the 12-yard line. Snyder hands chest high. Turns. Hands off. Bowles the feature back. Not much. some positive yards. We talked about that earlier. Cut down on your negative plays. Not much a hard-earned yard, but they need to work on time of possession. They had it just over 4 minutes in the first quarter. Need to keep that ball away from Lincoln University.
The defense has stepped up and done their job twice today with that blocked field goal or special teams and that turnover on downs earlier.
This should be a free play, and I think Schneider sees that. He throws it down the far sideline, trying to get it to Vaughn was in the territory along with Nick Fisher, but they're going to get an offsides penalty here. Clearly, from this angle, though I'm not seeing a yellow flag, but clearly from this angle, a defensive lineman jumped. I think the Cardinals are arguing
There's
that.
about 2 of them that jumped on that play.
And they apparently they don't think it was a neutral zone infraction, so now it's 3rd down and 9. Tough call on the Cardinals. A hard count, you can see that by Schneider. Now he'll redirect the offense. Moves Bowles to his right hip. Gets his center exchange. Back to throw. It sets up. Throwing it long. It's going to be up for grabs and incomplete. Trying to get it to T.J. Guillory. He turned into a defender there to knock the ball away for it wouldn't be intercepted. So now the Cardinals, though they get the block kick, they can't do anything with it. And at the 13-yard line, Dalton Dye, the sophomore, will come in to boot it away. Back to receive, Hassan Muhammad Rogers. He'll stand about his 50-yard line. Dye needs to get there. It is a windy day here at Green Stadium on the campus of William Jewell College. You can see the flags on the goalposts. Kick kind of flutters through the air. It's going to be picked up at the 45-yard line and run back to the 39.
Good coverage there by the Cardinals.
32-yard kick, a 5-yard return. No, you're right. It was a short kick, but the Cardinals got down there. That could have been a problem if Rogers would have got a full head of steam, but Lincoln University has a short field to work with, starting this drive at the 39-yard line in Cardinal territory with 10:24 to play here in the opening half. Cardinals clinging to a 7-0 lead. Harris is in as the H-back on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Ogala back to throw, steps up, rolls, gets hit, throws it on the run. Is going to be incomplete. Trying to get it to Harris. He was in the grasp, Ogala was, of a defender on a defensive line there for
good heads-up play there by Ogala with that little shuffle pass there at the end. Receivers couldn't hang on there.
Again, at times, teams go away from what was successful. Early on, the running ability of Kimbo Ferguson pounding the rock here early, and they've gone, Lincoln University has gone away from that, gone more to the aerial attack here. 2nd down, now turned hand off to Ferguson, and he smashes his way inside the 35 near the 34-yard line. Be a pickup of 5, makes it 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder why they go away from the running game, because every time Ferguson gets the ball in his hands, it seems he picks up 3 or 4 yards every time.
Yard marker said 4th down, but it is actually a 3rd down play for Lincoln University. 3rd down and 5. Right tackle Dakota Cox comes out 6'6", 352. I might be able to get some yards because I ran behind Dakota Cox. Ogala wants to throw out route's going to be caught at the 28-yard line. And then Blake Tibbs runs out of bounds inside the 25 to the 24. Enough for the 1st and 10. Jewell cornerback gave Tibbs a lot of real estate there. Played a little soft coverage. Tibbs just ran down 5 yards, caught the pass, and turned it upfield and gets the 1st and 10. Now approaching the red zone on the left hash at the 24-yard line, a new set of downs for Lincoln University.
Yeah,
trailing 7-0.
We haven't seen Lincoln take a shot downfield yet, and so you wonder if that's coming soon or if they're a little scared of the Cardinals secondary, which tends to be the Cardinals' bread and butter there.
Cardinals need a turnover here. Turns, hands off. Ferguson gets to the outside. Ferguson, no doubt about it. You can see by his running style, he's a downhill runner.
Yep.
Shoulder pads are out in front of him, and tough to bring down. I don't know if he's a game breaker or not, but he's going to chew up some yards and get some real estate for you just about every time he carries the football. On that carry, a hard-earned 2, but second down and 8. 8:24 to play before halftime. 7-0 William Jewell on a 1-yard run in the first quarter by Ty Bowles. Again, this is a game that time of possession has just been dominated by Lincoln University. 5 in the pattern, empty backfield. Ogala, 2-step drop, looks to his right, throws over the middle. It's going to be caught at the 15-yard line. Ball comes loose. Are they going to say the receiver was down by contact, reaching for some extra yards? That's going to be enough for a 1st and 10. And again, that was Antonio Isaac. So Isaac, the ground can't cause the fumble, and Isaac just reaching out to try to get a couple of extra yards. Gives his team a 1st and 10 on the 13-yard line in the left hash inside the red zone of the Cardinals. Cardinal defense has been on this field for much of the first half. Ogala turns, handoff straight ahead to about the 10, and that's about it.
Yeah, the Cardinal defense has been, but it has not yet to break.
That'll be a gain of 4. And they'll mark it right at the 10-yard line.
Connor Carpenter comes in for the Cardinals. The sophomore out of Surprise, Arizona.
Royals baseball plays out in Surprise, Arizona, if I'm correct, for their preseason games. And we'll have a stoppage of play. And they're going to mark 5, and that's going to be a false start. And cost Lincoln University 5 yards. They'll move it back to the 15-yard line. These are areas of the field you can't make mental mistakes.
And so far, the Cardinals have capitalized on all the penalties so far on the Tigers, so you wonder if they can do it here again.
Harris is in as the H-back. 3 in the backfield. Out of the shotgun is Ogala. Fakes, turns, throws, man wide open at the 10, to the 5, to the corner. Did he get to the pylon? Looks like he's going to step out of bounds at about the 2-yard line.
And there's that play action they've been trying to set up all day so far with that run game.
Good misdirection by Ogala, as you called it, Lucas. Rolled out on a naked bootleg, run pass option, found his receiver, and now Lincoln University is in business on the left hash at the 2-yard line. Terry Hunter is in, replacing Ferguson in the backfield. Turns, hands off, runs straight ahead. No signal yet as the head linesman come in, and then touchdown, Terry Hunter. Hunter from 2 yards out puts it into the end zone, and the last man to get up is Dakota Cox. He paved the way. The running back follows him into the end zone, and Lincoln University is a PAT away from tying it up. Ramirez, though he struggled kicking field goals, is a perfect 13 of 13 on PAT attempts. Ball is down. The kick is on the way. Line drive kick is up, and it's good. 5:33 to play, opening half. We're knotted at 7. You're watching live on the GLVC Sports Network. Alongside my partner, Lucas Campbell, this is Mark Miller. 2-yard touchdown run by Terry Hunter. Capitalizes the drive for Lincoln University, and the Blue Tigers have knotted it at 7. 5:33 to play here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was a crucial drive there for the Tigers because, so far they've had the blocked field goal, turnover on downs, and so finally the coach on the sidelines probably feeling like something finally is going their way.
End-over-end kick into the end zone. It'll be a touchback down there by the Cardinals, and they'll take over a new set of downs. Again, we've talked about time of possession is really favored Lincoln University. Cardinals need to sustain something here on the ground or in the air. The only time the Cardinals got a short field, they were able to capitalize and take it in. That last scoring drive for Lincoln University.
Yeah, the Cardinals have got to keep the offense on the field. 1, to hopefully score some points, and 2, to let that defense get a little rest going.
It was an 8-play, 39-yard drive, took 4:51. Schneider gets it out of the shotgun, throws over the middle, a fine catch at about the 35-yard line, right at the yard marker. And that was T.J. Guillory, the freshman. He had to go up. That was a bullet zipped by Schneider. Guillory had to leave his feet, but makes the catch. 1st and 10, move the chains out to the 36-yard line.
And Schneider's thrown some good balls today. That secondary there for the Tigers has just been closing in and punching that ball out at the last second.
Jacob Thompson comes in as a tight end. 4 in the pattern. Lone setback is Rael Dydell. He gets the handoff. Fresh legs. Shoots to the right side. To the 45 to the 50. Into Blue Tiger territory. Down to the 43 on the run by Rael Dydell. Welcome to the game, number 23.
Great read there by Schneider because he had about 4 Tigers there in the backfield, and Dydell was able just to slip out that right side and pick up the big first down.
So the Cardinals making some noise here after the touchdown drive by Lincoln University. Twins on each side. Rydell on the right hip of the left-handed quarterback, Will Schneider. Chest, hands in front of him. Chest high snap, turns, hands off Dydell, and nothing doing this time. Maybe a loss of a yard. Micah Scott, the 6'2", 282-pound sophomore left tackle, just swallowed up the ball carrier. Loss of a yard, back to the 44, 2nd and 11, 3:57 to play here in the second. Clock running. Dydell still stays in the backfield. 3 to the near side. Snyder, chest high snap, rolls to the left, steps up in the pocket, throws across his body and overthrows his intended receiver. Trying to get it to Zach Goddett, well covered in the secondary. And that'll bring up a 3rd down on the coverage. Victor Williams for Lincoln University. So 3rd down 11, passing situation here for Sean Weigel's William Jewell Cardinals. Again, these teams very seldom huddle right to the line of scrimmage. Looks back at his back, Dydell. Schneider, hands in front of him. Gets the chest high snap. Pops out to Dydell. Makes a man miss at the 45. Lowers his head. Wrestled out of bounds on a hard tackle at about the 41-yard line. In on the hit, Austin Harris, the freshman cornerback. So now it's going to be 4th down and 8. Is it decision time here for the Cardinals? Do they go for it with 3:23 to play, or do they punt it away? I'm not seeing Dalton Dye come onto the field. When you're 1-5 and 1-3 in the GLBC, roll the dice, baby. Let's get something going here. Twins to each side. Dydell, the lone setback. Snyder out of the gun. Dydell in motion. Back to throw. Safety valve. Now down. Snyder steps up. He's going to run and just tripped up. Did he get enough for the 1st and 10? It's going to be very close. Just tripped up in the backfield, or Snyder would have had the 1st and 10. I don't think he made it. Good defensive play by Isaiah Gray. Just got the right ankle of the QB, and that stopped a 1st and 10, and now Lincoln University will have a few minutes here to try to get something back on the scoreboard as Schneider's run is about a yard short, and Lincoln University will take over. 1st and 10 at their 34-yard line on the left hash. Good defensive play there by the Blue Tigers.
Yeah, I don't mind the call there because, like you said, with the Cardinals being 1-3 in the GLVC, pick up a win today with 2 GLVC opponents left, try to get in that top half of the league. You got to go for it.
Oh, I totally agree. Kimbo Ferguson back in. Not much. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Maybe a half a yard, and that's being generous. 2 weeks ago we were here, Southwest Baptist, and it was a tight game. Won by one late, 14-10. Not a lot of scoring. Will Snyder took it in. Now 5 in the pattern, empty backfield. Cardinals will rush 3, maybe shoot a linebacker, drop into coverage. They do. Throws over the middle and nearly intercepted. Nearly getting a hand on that. And the secondary was Thad Glenn.
Yeah, most of the damage the Tigers have done today have come on the ground, so I don't think the Cardinals are too upset when they see a passing formation in there.
3rd down and 9. Cardinals have 2 timeouts left. Lincoln University 1 with 2:13 to play. Clock stopped. 3rd down 9. Cardinal defense digs in. Ogala back to throw. Sets up. Rolls out to the left. Needs to make a man miss. Nice solo tackle, but couldn't make it. He's going to have enough for the 1st and 10. Forward momentum will get him to the 45-yard line. Cardinal had a shot at him at about the 40. Couldn't wrap up. Give credit to Ogala, the sophomore, for making the Cardinal miss, and that's enough for the 1st and 10. Move the chains of the Blue Tigers.
Yeah, that hurts there for the Tigers, or for the Cardinals, because if you're able to get that, force that punting situation, get the ball back right before halftime and get that score, be a big game changer for them.
1st and 10, they're going to get a false start on the wide receiver, Franklin Richardson, the senior. So a mental mistake will cost the Blue Tigers 5 yards and move it back to the 40. Blue Tigers just have that 1 timeout remaining. They had to use 2 timeouts in the first quarter. Out of the shotgun, Ogala. Stunning a linebacker. Here they come. Ogala steps up. Rolls to his left. Turns it upfield at the 45, at the 50. 45 to the 40 and run out of bounds about the 39-yard line. So Ogala using his wheels here to get some big yardage and real estate and keeping this drive alive. Cardinals did a nice job of rushing the quarterback, but they did not contain Ogala in the pocket. He was able to pop out and run for big yards to the 37-yard line. 1:05 left and gets it out of bounds. Hand up the middle of Ferguson. He's going to get big yard. He's at the 25 and down to the 21-yard line.
Yeah, you wonder if the Cardinals are a little frantic right here, getting those big rushing yards to both Ogala and to Ferguson.
Thaddeus Glenn makes the hit. Back to throw. Ogala, hurry up. Throws over middle, and the ball is tipped. Nearly intercepted at about the 5-yard line. That'll stop the clock and bring up a 2nd down and 10. Cardinals would like to hold Lincoln University to a field goal try. The first one of those from 27 yards out was blocked. 44.9 seconds left. 2nd down and 10 at the Cardinal 21 on the left hash. 4 in the pattern, twins to each side. Lone setback, Ferguson on the left hip of the quarterback, Henry Ogala. Turns, hands off Ferguson. Low, keeps that body low, shoulders in front of him, pounds it down to the 16. Hurry up offense here. A little surprised with the run call. Clock will continue to run. Cardinals trying to get players in and out. And now the Cardinals are going to have to burn a timeout to get the right defense on the field. We'll go ahead and keep it here. It'll be a 3rd down, and we'll call it 3rd down and 5 with 28.4 seconds left. Well, basketball has started practice this week at William Jewell. Larry Holly starting his 40th season as men's head coach and is the reigning Kansas City Sports Commission Coach of the Year. And Jill Slaminski, her 23rd season on the women's side. The MBB returns 2 all-GVC performers and seniors, Farrell Gordon, second team, and Keith Hayes, second team. So basketball is just around the corner. Swimming will be competing Saturday at Truman State. Home opener is November 17th versus Barton County Community College and Iowa Central. So right in the middle of fall and winter sports are right around the corner. Yeah, partner, October's just sailed by.
Oh, yeah.
Basketball is right around the corner here, and
this is the best time on campus, though, because you got all the sports going on, getting excited. Homecoming, which was 2 weeks ago.
I drove into the parking lot 2 weeks ago, did my first game for William Jewell, and there were some tailgaters, and they'd been there a while. There's no doubt about it. I get here about an hour and a half before the broadcast, and those folks were there.
Oh yeah, I saw some Snapchats. They were there pretty early. They were excited for the game. And
oh heck yeah!
Getting
and a Cardinal win
made it even better.
Third down, and we'll call it 4. They make it just inside the 12-yard line. 28.4 seconds left. We're tied at 7. Still a stoppage of play. If this is a clock situation here or not. Reset the clock at 30 seconds. Left here in the first half. Out of the gun, Ogala. It's been that way all game. Back to throw. It sets up, throws, out route. Caught and popped at about the 10-yard line. Ball comes loose, but they're going to call incomplete. Intended receiver was Antonio Isaac. And he was met on a hard tackle by Antonio Wabanimki, made the hit, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 5 and a field goal opportunity. They're going to mark the line of scrimmage at the 15. This will be a 32-yard attempt by Ramirez. His first of 28 was blocked. 5 for 13 on the season.
Looks like he's got about 32 here for the attempt.
32-yard attempt. Ball is down. Kick is on the way. It's got the distance. It's up, and it is good. 20.3 seconds left. A 32-yard field goal by Fernando Ramirez. And a 10-point unanswered run by Lincoln University, and they take a 10-7 lead. We'll keep it here before we head into halftime.
So now you wonder, Cardinals get the ball coming out of halftime, so you wonder if they take a shot here or just take it into the locker room.
You know, partner, I think they just take a knee and let's get into halftime. Don't make any mistakes.
Man, that was a big hit there at the end.
One thing that's been missing here in the first half, and again, what this first half has come down to for the Cardinals, they just haven't had the ball enough. And one name that I haven't called much today at all is Bula Graft.
Yeah.
I mean, his coach wants, Coach Weigel wants Graff to get it 20 to 25 touches per game, and he is nowhere near that thus far. But that's why you go into halftime, and this coaching staff for the Cardinals are going to make adjustments. There's the kick, end-over-end kick, and there's Graff at the goal line. He's going to run it out, try to make a difference. At the 10 to 15, runs into a pile. He's going to be dropped at about the 18-yard line. Not much opened up for Bula. And now let's see what the Cardinals do. And I think if you're Sean Weigel with only 14.9 seconds left, let's just take a knee, go championship formation, and head into halftime.
Yeah, Bula could have broke off a big return there. Then you might see a different strategy. But being there on the 18-yard line, you probably just got to take the knee and call it a half.
Snyder's out of the gun, 4 in the pattern. 4-man rush, handoff, straight ahead, not much. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be it. And that's going to end the first half. We played one half of football here at Green Stadium on the campus of William Jewell College, and a 10-point run, a 10-point second quarter has given Lincoln University a 10-7 halftime lead. We'll take a break. Come back with second half action. We'll catch you up on stats of the first half after this timeout. You're listening live on the GLVC Sports Network. Alongside Lucas Campbell, Mark Miller here at halftime, 10-7 Lincoln University on 10 unanswered points in the second quarter. Let's take you through the scoring summaries here in the first quarter. William Jewell took a 7-play drive, 49 yards after stopping Lincoln University on a 4th and short, 3:46 off the clock, capped off. But the first points of the first quarter, in the first quarter, first time that William Jewell has scored in the first quarter all season long, and Ty Bowles took it over from the 1-yard line. The PAT by Dalton Dye made it 7-0. And then Lincoln University ties it up at the 5:33 mark of the second quarter. An 8-play, 39-yard drive, took 4:51 off the clock, as Terry Hunter, who came in the game for Kimbo Ferguson, ran a 2-yard touchdown run. The Ramirez extra point made it 7-7. And then with just 20 seconds left in the first half, Ramirez, who'd had his first field goal attempt blocked from 28 yards, got a second opportunity on a 9-play, 51-yard drive and booted it through the uprights on a 32-yard attempt. That's where we are at halftime at 10-7. And now, Lucas, you got to look at the stats, and there are some that are eye-popping, especially time of possession.
Yeah, the main thing that sticks out is, like you said, the time of possession. Lincoln University controlled the ball for 21 minutes and 34 seconds as compared to the Cardinals, who had the ball for merely 8 minutes and 26. And that led to the big difference here in total offense. Lincoln had a total offense of 189 yards compared to the Cardinals of only 80. Big concerns for Lincoln to address at halftime is definitely cutting down the penalties, 4 penalties for 40 yards. And as we saw earlier, you know, that passing or roughing the passer penalty opened up the door for the Cardinals to score their only points of the game. Other concerns is we've seen a couple of times the ball coming out right as contact happens for Lincoln. And so, you know, if those hits happen just, you know, half second early, that's a fumble. So just ball security is going to be a big key for Lincoln to address. Big positives, though, is Kimbo Ferguson averaging 4.2 yards per carry. You know, we've seen him all day. He's, you know, kind of doing whatever he wants there out in the field, running the ball up the middle. And then on the Cardinals side, defense has been the main story for the Cardinals. Brock Geis with 7 tackles, 4 unassisted, 3 assisted tackles, and Antonio Wabaminki with 4 tackles, all solo, and 2 tackles for a loss. So we were talking, you know, before the game, saying that he wants to get that GLVC defensive honors again, and he's certainly making his case, and we'll look to see him bolster that in the second half.
Second half action straight ahead. It's 10-7, Lincoln University over William Jewell. You're listening to live coverage on the GLVC Sports Network. Back here at halftime, 10-7, Lincoln University over William Jewell. Let's get you up on some of the other sports and other accomplishments by William Jewell Cardinal athletes. Libero Olivia Tolbert. We talked about this a little bit, and I know my partner here, Lucas Campbell, has done some volleyball for William Jewell, and this young lady, Olivia Tolbert, is actually broke the school record for career digs. And I haven't been to a lot of volleyball, but I know what a libero does. They're the ones that dig it out and pop that ball up for somebody else, like somebody that's 6'7" or something can slam it.
Yep.
Well, she broke the school record for career digs this past Saturday at the region crossover. Olivia got her 2,119th dig. That means you're on the floor digging that ball out against Wisconsin Parkside. And she did so after suffering what is most times a career-ending injury 2 weeks earlier. She has also broke her own NCAA-era single-season record twice during her career and is a 2-time All-GLVC selection.
Yeah, Olivia, I've been covering volleyball here for the past 4 years, and Olivia has just been the anchor to that team ever since she stepped on campus as a freshman. whenever they need a big defensive play, she's always there. She's always sacrificing her body to make those plays and save some points. So it's great to see her get that record. Everyone knew it was coming. It was just kind of a matter of time of when she got it, not if she got it. So congratulations to Olivia on a great career at William Jewell College, and hopefully they can keep it going.
You've covered also baseball and soccer, and men and women's soccer will be at Bellarmine in southern Indiana this weekend. Back home on Wednesday for senior night versus Truman State at 5 and 7:30 p.m. Basketball, as we talked about, right around the corner. Larry Holly, legendary coach at William Jewell, starting his 40th season as the men's head coach and as the reigning Kansas City Sports Commission Coach of the Year. Jill Slominski is in her 23rd season on the women's side, so great consistency and continuity in the basketball men and women's programs here at William Jewell. Field, we're talking about the Hall of Fame Classic November 3rd and 4th in St. Joe. The men's team has been invited to that prestigious small college basketball classic. The field includes Jewell, Missouri Western, 2018 national semifinalist Queens, and South Region Power Tarleton are their two opponents, as well as the past two national champions in Ferris State and Northwest Missouri State, and national runner-ups Northern State and Fairmont State. What a classic that'll be. The home opener is November 9th and 10th, as the Cardinals will host the GLVC and GLIAC Challenge. So a lot happening in the basketball world coming up in the very near future here at William Jewell. And just don't leave out swimming. They'll be competing Saturday at Truman State. Home opener November 17th versus Barton County Community College and Iowa Central Community College. We'll have second half action coming your way. Let's take another timeout. 10-7 Lincoln University over William Jewell. You're watching live on the GLVC Sports Network.
Create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back here at halftime, Lucas Campbell alongside yours truly, Mark Miller. Glad you're with us. 10-7, Lincoln University, just minutes away from second half action. Lucas, you swam at this program at William Jewell for 3 years, and swimming, as I just mentioned, will be competing Saturday at Truman State, home opener November 17th.
Yeah, we got first-year interim head coach Dan Zuba guiding the ship right now. He took over a great program, or is filling in for a great program right now. Jewell's returning All-American Anthony Aranda, senior year, so he's hoping to get back to the national scene and score some points for Jewell on the national level. And there's some good freshmen this year who have been making some noise at the Show Me Showdown at Columbia. What was that, 2-3 weeks ago? So everyone's pretty excited about that, and it's a long season, but they're trucking along and hoping to get some guys and girls going back to the national scene.
When you talk college basketball, Larry Holly, synonymous with greatness and what he's done here at William Jewell, just celebrated his 900th win.
Yep.
This last February, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I was there for that game, and I'll tell you, even if you are not a basketball fan or don't really understand the sport of basketball, you got to come watch it and see Coach Holly, because, when you get congratulated by legends like Roy Williams and Coach K, you're doing something right, and it's just great to see him, been so dedicated to William Jewell over the years, and just, not really want to leave anywhere else and build his program here. And just a great sight to see him and the interaction he has with the players and the fans. And definitely get out and go watch a game if you got the time.
Well, both teams are on the field. We're about 2.5 minutes away from second half action. Let's see if the Cardinals can bounce back. Led 7-0 early, trailed 10-7. Final timeout. Back with second half action after this. You're watching live at the GLVC Sports Network. For Lucas Campbell, this is Mark Miller. I want to jump in, Lucas, a little bit more on these stats. It's just kind of going through. One name that's just missing here for the Cardinals is Bula Graft. He has one kickoff return, and that came in the last 20 seconds of the first half for 18 yards. No rushing attempts. No passing. He hasn't caught a pass yet. And, again, this is a young man that's just set a record for over 3,000 all-purpose yards, which he obtained in the blowout loss last week to Missouri S&T. Sean Weigels told me that he wants this young man to touch that ball 20 to 25 touches per game. I was looking at the high school career of Bula, 42 touchdowns his senior year at high school in San Diego. Bula also played in the Little League World Series champion.
He does it all.
He does it all. He needs to do something. I mean, they need to get him the football here, and then time of possession, as you indicated, 21-8 in minutes. 4 for 9, Schneider. 8 for 12 for Ogala. Kimbo Ferguson with 78 yards. So let's see if the Cardinals can make the adjustments at halftime. Graft will be on the right side to field this kickoff as the Cardinals will take over. We'll have at least the first opportunity of the second half here as they'll get the football. As Ramirez will tee it up at the 35-yard line. 10-7, glad you're with us. Second half action underway, and Graff's going to get a shot at the goal line. At the middle of the field to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Gets hit by his own man, runs into his own man, and then falls forward. Out to the 21, a 21-yard return. And William Jewell and company, led by Will Schneider, quarterback. Graft in the lineup. Keelan Vaughn, the wide receiver, along with Nick Fisher at tight end. Wyatt Miller, haven't called his name much today.
Yeah, we haven't seen Graft targeted very often today. And it's odd that we haven't seen him in the back in some sort of package back there, try to use him on a wide receiver motion or a little QB read or something. So it'd be interesting to see what they get him in here with.
1st and 10 at the 21. Out of the gun, Schneider turns, hands off Bowles, not much, maybe a yard out to the 22. Offensive line, left guard Zach Hand, right tackle Caleb White, left tackle Jonathan Farmer, center Tanner Vance.
Yeah, for the most part, that offensive line's done a pretty good job keeping the Tigers out of the backfield.
Out today is Jake Kaputska and Sergio Guevara on that front line. 2nd down 9, just the start of things here in the third quarter. Schneider come with the blitz, and that kind of stops up the front in the trench there, and nothing doing.
And the Cardinals have yet to convert on 3rd down today, so hopefully they can change that luck right here.
Ben Shoemate clogged up the middle there. Shoemate, 6'3", 290-pound freshman from Jeff City, Missouri. Big play here. 3rd down and we'll call it 3rd down and 8. Big play here for the Cardinals. See if they can get something going. 4 in the pattern, trips to the near side. Back to throw Schneider. Pocket collapses, and Snyder's dropped. Rushing 3 and coverage 8, and the 3 get to the quarterback, and Snyder's on his backside back at the 18-yard line, and momentum clearly wearing a white shirt here for the Blue Tigers of Lincoln University. 3 and out, not what Sean Weigel wanted to start the second half, and Dalton Dye will stand at his 5. Back to receive this punt for Lincoln University will be Hassan Muhammad Rogers. He'll stand just inside his 50. Dye averaging about 40 yards per kick, needs to get his foot in this one. There's the kick. Nice high kick. It takes a great pump, but then recovered at the 35-yard line and down at the 33.
Big play there for the Cardinals.
Great pursuit by the Cardinals to come up with that tackle and special teams, and that is Jack Gordon. Good play by Gordon. Got a good bounce off the punt. So from the 22 to the 33, that's about 45 yards of field position that flips and doesn't give Lincoln University the short field that they wanted. And they're going to mark out, looks like they're going to mark off some additional yards on this.
I didn't quite see what happened there.
I didn't see a flag thrown, but referees will talk about it. And flag was thrown about the 20-yard line or so, and they'll mark this all the way back to the 23. I did not see the penalty. But they'll mark it back to the 23s. That makes that about a 55-yard punt, penalty, and run back. Goes the Cardinals' way. Agala at quarterback, throws one out in the flat and then just throws it clearly over the head of his wide receiver. I'll bring up a 2nd and 10, trying to get it to Johnny Johnson, the H-back, on a 1st and 10 throw. Ogala was 8 for 12 in that opening half.
Yeah, we've yet to see Gallo really take a shot downfield, though. Most of his passing yards have come off of short little under routes and then taken up field for additional yardage.
That penalty was an illegal block in the back, so that cost Lincoln University 10 yards. Handoff up the middle and nothing doing. Slamming the ball carrier down. That's Major Walker and a major play by the 6'4", 250-pound junior. Not in my house, he says, as he drops the ball carrier back to the 20-yard line, brings up a big 3rd down, 13 for the Blue Tigers.
Yeah, Walker's been having a great day for himself there. It's not really showing up in the stats yet, but, every play he's in the backfield, and it's just a matter of time until he gets one like that, brings him down for a loss. He's making his presence known on the field.
Well, let's see, as you mentioned, let's see if Ogala does take a shot down the field. Back to throw, 3rd and 13, throws. It's going to be caught, but the 30 to the 32-yard line. I think it's going to be short of the 1st and 10. He needed to make the 33. I think he's about 1.5 yards short.
Yeah, and right there, that was a big concern for the Cardinals in the first half was that open field tackling. They've had a couple plays that ended up being more yards than they should have been. So it was good to see them get him down there at first contact and keep him short of the 1st down.
They'll mark it at the 32-yard line.
So there's a penalty.
And now a flag and an unsportsmanlike conduct on William Jewell, and that'll drive Sean Weigel nuts because you had the team stop short of the 1st and 10. Then you give him a yellow hanky, and it costs you big yards and moves it into to about the 47-yard line. Both teams have had that occur today.
Yeah,
Cardinal is stating his case there to the official. That's Jack Cute. So now that keeps the drive alive. 1st and 10 at the 48. Handoff up the middle, not much. Maybe out to the 49. They marked it at the 47, so we'll give Ferguson a 2-yard gain. It'll make 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, and that's how the Cardinals can take that next step in the GLVC standings is you got to, eliminate those plays from happening where you stop them and then you give them a free set of downs and keep the drive alive on a
you're right. In most sports, 90% of the game is played above the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And those mental mistakes there, you're right, just kills you and keeps a drive alive and gives this team another possession. And they've already had a lot of possessions in this game and time off it. Handoff, burst of speed, Ferguson hammering the ball down to the 40-yard line. On an 11-yard gain, make it 12 as a mark it on the hash at the 39-yard line. A game, how this game is transcending. If you're rooting for the Cardinals, you really don't want to get down 2 scores.
Yeah,
a touchdown here would make it 17-7. You want to keep this. You want to keep this within a 1-score game because the Cardinals aren't doing much offensively. Out of the gun, Ogala turns, fakes, runs it himself. 35 spins, makes a man miss, and falls forward to the 31. That'll be a pickup of 8 more yards of the second, make it 2nd down and 2.
That's been the story for the Tigers all day is just using that run game to just pick up large chunks of yards at a time. And the Cardinals just have yet to find an answer for it.
Gala and Ferguson, that 2-headed monster, and I say that respectfully because that's what they are. I mean, they can run. Gala can throw it a little bit, and he can run. And then with Ferguson, they are really causing havoc. And then Ferguson, that burst of speed, and I've talked about him being a downhill runner with those shoulder pads in front of him, and he busted inside the 30 and marks it to the 28. That'll be enough to move the chains again. I don't know if you create more in the box, maybe put 8 in the box and go solo on the receivers or not, but you're also privy to a play-action pass here and get one-on-one coverage in the secondary. 4 in the pattern, lone set back in the left hip. Hands off Ferguson. They'll just run it. They'll spread with receivers and then just give the ball to Ferguson. We saw a little bit of Terry Hunter, who actually got the 2-yard touchdown run, but Ferguson has been the workhorse today, no doubt about it. He'll check out now, replaced by Justin Korakosco. Now it's 2nd and 6 on the 4-yard pickup on 1st and 10. 9:05. This is a clock-killing drive here in the opening moments of the third quarter as William Jewell went 3 and out.
Yeah, we've seen that from Lincoln all day today. Is they're not too concerned about getting a lot of plays off quickly. They're taking their time back in the huddle and just wearing down that clock.
Turns, handoff, straight ahead again. Nothing fancy. This is just power football, trench warfare. Who's going to win the battle up front?
Yeah, most of the rushing yards have just come right up the middle. They haven't really broken anything off on the outside yet today.
Cute makes the tackle. Brings up a 3rd down, a manageable 4. The 22-yard line. Right now it'd be a 39-yard attempt. Ramirez has got the leg to boot it in from here, so they're in scoring position right now.
It's a crucial 3rd down for the Cardinals. Like you said, they got to keep it within 1 score, so they can force the field goal here.
Terry Hunter to the right hip of the QB. Hands in front of him. Low snap, back to throw, under rush. Throws, outlet pass. Nice one-handed catch by Hunter. Makes a man miss. He's going to have enough for the 1st and 10. That was all Terry Hunter. Hunter went up. Zip pass on a dime, and Hunter went up, grabbed it with one hand, pulled it in, got popped, but kept his feet, falls forward. Tigers, Blue Tigers in business at the 17 of the Cardinals. They're in the red zone, 1st and 10.
Yeah, it was a great play there by Hunter. Be able to reel that ball in and then especially keep that, keep 2 hands on it and come down with it.
Offset eye. Fake the handoff. Naked bootleg throws. Man wide open. Down to the 10, to the 5, to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown.
And we saw that play earlier in the first half, too. About almost the same exact result.
And a touchdown by the Blue Tigers. And a nice naked bootleg had the flow of the offense going to the right, and Ogala came back, found his receiver, touchdown, Lincoln University. Extra point is blocked. Cardinals got a hand on that. Looked like that might have been Major Walker, got a paw on it. But Lincoln University scores, 7:21 to play, third quarter, 16-7. We'll be back. You're listening live on the GLVC Sports Network.
Family and help fund Northland health and wellness initiatives through the Liberty Hospital Foundation. Visit libertyhospitalhalf.org for details and to sign.
Eric Bryce on the touchdown reception, 11-play, 67-yard drive, a 17-yard strike from Ogala to Bryce. Extra point block, but that 2-score lead now at 16-7. Kick, high end over end, fielded at the 1-yard line. To the 10, 15, 20, Graff cuts it back up inside and runs it out to the 28, a 27-yard return by Bula Graff, and then a late flag thrown by the head referee. Again, 15 yards behind the play. What did he see at the conclusion of that play? As referees will confer here. Looks like it might be going against the Cardinals. Again, after the play, dead ball, personal foul on the Cardinals, and that'll move William Jewell back from the 28 to the 14. So wipe away 14 yards of that run back, and now William Jewell needs, this is the drive of the game this far.
And the Cardinals are just digging themselves in a hole here. They're forcing themselves to work with a long field when they're, when Bula got them that good return there, about 30 yards.
Well, the Cardinals, you're exactly right. The Cardinals now have to drive it 86 yards. And they've not been able to sustain long drives. Their longest drive was that 47-yarder to get a touchdown on a 2-yard run in the first quarter. Snyder's going to keep it on the quarterback draw. He'll run it out to the 19, forward momentum, and this is the push of the pile. We'll get it out to the 21-yard line on the 7-yard pickup. By quarterback Will Schneider, who had 9 attempts for 35 yards a week ago in the blowout loss to Missouri S&T. But on the season, 293 yards of rushing and 5 touchdowns.
Hey, you wonder when we're going to see Bula back there because, the Cardinals have struggled with almost everything offensively today. You wonder if that's a result of Graff not getting his touches.
Bowles is a setback, throws a dart. It's going to be caught by Wyatt Miller, his 6th catch of the season for the junior, and that'll move the chains to the 28. Snyder did a nice job of putting that ball only where Miller could catch it. Down to his ankles, but he went down and got it. And that moves the chains, gives the Cardinals a little bit more working territory and real estate here at the 28. The left-hander, the lone setback, a yard behind him and an eye. Shooting a linebacker, Snyder's going to throw. It's going to pass. It's going to be high. Nearly a juggling acrobatic catch by Anthony Pritzel. You always fear when that ball gets knocked up in the air like it just did that it might get a pick 6. Pritzel could not come down with it. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Other games going on today in the GLVC. Truman State at Southwest Baptist. That's a 2 o'clock start. Missouri S&T at Quincy and McKendree at Indianapolis. Indianapolis still 4-0, 5-1, and ranks number 17 in the latest national poll. Offsides, I thought this might be a free play, but the line judge comes in, and they're going to get the penalty on Quan Mason. That'll be an offsides penalty and cost the Blue Tigers 5 yards on a 2nd down. It'll be 2nd down and 5. They'll move it out to the 33-yard line.
If you're the Cardinals, you got to be feeling pretty good about this drive so far. And, again, you got to capitalize on these mistakes that the Tigers are making if you want to stay in this ball game.
.604 to play here in the third. 16-7. 16-0 run here after Lincoln University trailed 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Snyder and company turns, hands off, burst of speed, Bowles keeps his head down low, and they're going to get a face mask. Looks like this is going to be a face mask thrown by the field judge, unless though you see the Lincoln team clapping as they get up. Looks like from this angle there was a face mask, and that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, you saw the Cardinal sideline almost instantly calling for that flag to be thrown.
That's a good hard run there by Bowles, and he's been the featured back. Rael Didell has had a couple of carries here today, and one ran for good yardage. But Bowles has been the featured back. Haven't seen much of Zach Gaudette or Bula Graff running the football. 1st and 10 on the other side of the 50 at the 48. Cardinals trying to creep closer, trailing 16-7. Turns, fakes the handoff, and Snyder's going to run the football inside the 45, near the 44-yard line. Short pickup, 2nd down and 4.
And again, when the Cardinals have moved the ball, the key is that they're picking up positive yards on these first downs, and they're giving themselves a chance to pick up the next first.
Yeah, that's a good point. We talked about that in the first half. Don't have negative plays. That's the bottom line. Don't have silly penalties and move the ball. Keep the chains moving. Snyder back to throw, sets up, throws, man wide open. That's Van. He's going to go to the house. Touchdown. Keelan Vaughn takes it to the house. Vaughn found himself wide open. Snyder found him. Cardinals are back in with a touchdown.
You know, Vaughn's really come on in these last couple games, too. We've seen him get more targets, and in result, he's making more catches and picking up some more points.
Makes it 16-13, and Dalton Dye, who's been perfect, 14 of 14 on the season, will come in to try to make it a 16-14 game, a 6-play, 86-yard drive. We talked about that. Took 2:07. Ball's down. Kick on the way. It is up, and it is perfect. 5:04 to play in the third. Fasten your seatbelts. Cardinals making noise. They trail at 16-14. You're watching live on the GLVC Sports Network. A 6-play, 86-yard drive capped off. Snyder found Keelan Vaughn with his third touchdown reception of the season. Goes for 44 yards. The PAT good. And we got a ball game now, 16-14, with 5 and change left here in the third, 5:04 to be exact. We talked about, Lucas, can William Jewell sustain a drive? They got a kickoff return that was marred by a penalty, but then they take it 86 yards, and something new to the equation there, the quarterback run.
Yeah.
That gave Lincoln University something else to look at here as Dye gets ready to tee it up, boots it away, a line drive kick. It's going to be returned at the 5-yard line. 10, 15, 20 versus its field. Donovan Wright stays on his feet, gets hit, and then finally ridden down. Ball comes down, is out and loose, fell on by a Cardinal, but are they going to think they're going to say that the ball carrier was down at about the 37-yard line or so?
We talked about the Tigers are playing with fire, with ball coming out there right as the down happens, and you just kind of wonder if they get a little unlucky and it comes out before.
That one was bang, bang. There's no instant replay here, but that was bang, bang. That knee must have just hit before that ball squirted loose. Cardinals need to get the momentum. Ogala turns, hands off. Mr. Ferguson and company, and he'll wedge it out to near the 42-yard line. Short gain of 3, second down at 7.
Yeah, that Cardinal possession only took 2 minutes and 7 seconds, and we're talking about, the Cardinals have not had the ball very long, but we don't mind quick drives when it results in touchdowns, so.
No doubt about it. It's kind of like the Kansas City Chiefs. Time of possession, inconsequential. When you're watching the Chiefs, they score in a hurry and in bunches.
And we love every minute of it.
That's right. Second down and 6, they gave him 4. Comes back and then hit in the backfield. Forward momentum. You got to give him credit for a lot of toughness there as you run it to the 44, but the nice job of the Cardinal defense. So they kind of plugged that hole up, and now it's 3rd and 5. Zach Dobbins, the defensive end, got in there. And now limping out is Antonio Wabanimki. Don't want to see him leave too much. 24 tackles for the junior. He'll pop out. Now it's a 3rd down. Need to make the 48. We're going to call this 3rd and 4 as the ball is marked at the 44-yard line. Big play here with 3 and 42 to play in the 3rd. Receivers right and left. Trips to the far side. Ogala, the sophomore quarterback, back to throw. Sets up, throwing long down the field. He's got a man in motion at the 20, 15, 10, 5, and brought down at the 1-yard line. Right back to Eric Bryce.
Yeah, that's the first big shot we've seen today out of Ogala, and he made it count.
On a 3rd and 4, in coverage was Alex Jimenez, but Bryce reached out, caught it, kept his balance, caught it about the 20, nearly got to the end zone, but gets it down to the 1, and the Blue Tigers are knocking. Yeah. Big turn of events there, partner. That was a 3rd and 4. I don't think the Cardinals thought they'd throw deep and go for all of it, but they did, and now Lincoln University is in scoring territory from the 1-yard line. Turns, hands off. Ferguson straight ahead and push back. Cardinals say not yet. Put a wall up there, defenders, and knock Ferguson back. That'll bring up a 2nd and goal to goal.
Yeah, Ferguson has been, doing most of that carrying the workload for the rushing, but he's yet to find the end zone. So you're wondering if they're trying to get him that touchdown for him today.
Yeah, he carried it most of the first half, but Terry Hunter, the junior, came in and got the benefit of scoring the touchdown. 16-14. It's a 2-point game. Cardinal defense trying to hold this team to a field goal. 2nd and goal from the 1 and out of the shotgun. Ferguson remains as the lone setback. Turns, hands off Ferguson again, gets hit, stood up, dropped. Back he goes. Trying to run right behind left guard Drake Rucker. Center, Sorrell Spells, but the Cardinal defense saying not yet. Not in our house. We're going to try to get a goal line stand here. Forward momentum gave Ferguson about a half a yard, and now Lincoln University wants to take a timeout and talk about it. We'll go ahead and keep it here with a minute 42 to play. Big third down play here. All right, partner, what do you do? Do you send Kimbo Ferguson in, or do you fake that? And we've seen what Ogala can do on that naked bootleg. Do you want to get him on a run-pass option or what? You put your coach's hat on.
Well, you're looking at four-down territory because they went for the field goal earlier, and we saw how that worked out for him from the 1-yard line. So I feel like you got to give the ball to Ferguson twice. Odds are in your favor that he doesn't get stopped 4 times and is able to pick up that last yard and get in there for the score.
Cardinals will try to dig in here as their long touchdown drive of 6 plays and 86 yards is trying to be matched here by Lincoln University. Offenses are starting to pick up. That was a nice pass by Ogala and a better catch by Eric Bryce. Bryce had the touchdown on the 17-yard reception in the third quarter.
Yeah, I was really impressed to see him keep his balance there and pick up. I mean, he probably stumbled for about 6 more yards, get him down there on the goal line.
No kidding. Think you might want to run behind Jamal Brown, the right guard, 6'3", 399 pounds. Let's see if they run this way. They've got the H back there, quarterback sneak, and no call yet. Line judge comes in, touchdown. And they ran that way. They ran behind Jamal Brown. The QB takes it in. Henry Ogala scores it on a touchdown run of a half a yard, and the Blue Tigers are back on the board. They lead at 22-14.
I just noticed over there on the Lincoln sideline, one of the coaches handed Ogala, looks like some form of WWE championship belt for that touchdown. So you kind of wonder what that's all about.
Ramirez on his last extra point was blocked. He's had a field goal block. Low snap. Kick is up, and it is good. Minute 39 to play. Third quarter. 9-point lead. The visitors. Lincoln University 23, William Jewell 14. You're listening live on the GLVC Sports Network.
With poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Six-play, 62-yard drive, capped off on a 1-yard touchdown run by quarterback Henry Ogala. The big play, the big pass play to Eric Bryce set up the Blue Tigers at the 1-yard line. 3 plays later, they cash it in. So William Jewell finds themselves right back in the position they were a few minutes ago, trailing by 9 now. Kick goes into the end zone. Graff will take a knee, and the Cardinals will take over with a minute 39 to play here in the third quarter, trailing 23-14. Well, the Cardinals don't need to get their daubers down here. They had a nice drive. Give credit to Lincoln University on hitting the big pass play on a 3rd and 4 at midfield, where the Cardinals were clearly fooled on that, and so was I. I didn't think they'd look up, and that was a big, as you mentioned earlier, that was the first time they'd really looked downfield to go home run, and it paid dividends. 1st and 10 at the 25 after the touchback. So Snyder and company will come out. A little over a minute to play here in the third and try to get a drive, trailing by 9. Snyder, they'll run option. Kicks it to Bowles. Some room to run at the 25. Cuts it back to the 30. Makes a man miss. Sidesteps a man and falls forward for a 1st and 10 at the 36. Another new wrinkle in that offense that you didn't see in the first half. Veer option. Snyder pitches it to Bowles, and he takes it for 11 to the 36. And that Cardinals offense is getting a little energized.
Yeah, I like seeing the QB reads and having Snyder put the ball in his hands and use his feet, because it just adds another dimension and at least makes the offense, throw a spy on them and respect the run game.
Snyder handoff, Bowles again, not much. Reed option there. Gave it to him on a belly play right up the gut, and that'll get it out to the 37 with 57 seconds clock running here in the third. 2nd down and 9. Snyder 6 for 12 for just 87 yards, 1 touchdown. Bowles on his right hip, 4 in the pattern, 1 in the slot. On a 2nd down and 9. Snyder, chest high snap, turns, play action, rolls to his left, then throws it behind, trying to get it to Zach Gaudette, but he was feeling the heat. The pressure was coming on the QB by this Tigers defense. And bearing down on him was Amani Nelson, the 5'9", 214-pound linebacker. Stops the clock with 19.8 seconds left in the third, and a big third down 9. Cardinals need to get this 1st and 10 and have the ball start in the fourth quarter. Maybe shooting a linebacker, 3-man rush, but they've got men in the corner. They may come after Schneider in this definite passing situation here. Center Tanner Vance. There's a center exchange. Straight drop. Snyder steps up, rolls. He's going to take off and run. Gets hit, spins, stays on his feet, pushes, drives, tries to get to the 1st and 10 marker. He's going to be short as he runs it out to the 44-yard line. A lot of pressure on these last 2 plays on the QB, and that should end the third quarter. Decision time for Sean Weigel as we've played 3. At the end of third quarter, our score, Lincoln University 23, William Jewell 14. You're watching live on the GLVC Sports Network. Back here at Green Stadium, Mark Miller, Lucas Campbell, glad you're with us on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Liberty, Missouri. The end of 3, it's Lincoln University 23, William Jewell 14. You're watching live on the GLVC Sports Network. And we'll see the punt team partner out there for William Jewell. I think the Cardinals are going to go as soon as they get the yard marker straightened away here.
There they go.
Both teams lined up on the. They do flip sides here on the quarter break. As Schneider will walk out after talking to head coach Sean Weigel. Got to draw up a play that gives the Cardinals at least 2+ yards to move the chains. A loss here or a stoppage on downs really puts the Cardinals in peril. Out of the shotgun, Schneider. The run option left. There's a late pitch. 1st and 10, flag goes down. They may get a hold as ball carrier gets the 1st and 10, but this might be all coming back. Where it was thrown, it looks like it's going to be an offensive hold. We'll get the call here from the head referee. Bowles had got enough for the 1st and 10. Personal foul, chop block. And that'll go against an illegal chop block below the waist. So that's going to cost the Cardinals 15 and now make the going for 4th down.
Here comes the punt team.
And the punt team will have to come on and kick it away. Now you've got to, now as a Cardinal defense, you got to find a way to get a turnover. You want to flip the field here and pin Lincoln University deep as back to receive this kick.
He is punting with the wind, so hopefully he can get one back
there. Yeah, that's right. Let's see if Dye can get his foot into it, and we've got another stoppage of play. Just the start of things here in the fourth quarter, 23-14 in favor of Lincoln University. Dial stand at his 15. Back to receive this kick is Hassan Muhammad Rogers. He'll stand just outside his 30. There's the snap, and there's the boot.
Good spiral. Nice
spiral, and caught about the 22-yard line by Rogers. Rogers gets hit, popped, and runs it back to the 32. 10-yard return, but we've got a flag thrown at about the 44-yard line. It might be an illegal block. They'll mark it at the 33.
Let's see what we got here. We got two flags down at separate parts of the field.
One at about the line of scrimmage. Both of these are going to be against Lincoln University. They'll wave off the holding, and then there is actually two holds on that play. They'll enforce the second one. So with the kick, now the penalty yards, it pins Lincoln University back with 14:21 to play here in the fourth quarter.
I imagine we're going to see a lot of Ferguson here in the fourth quarter. Up 2 scores. Would not surprise me if Lincoln just tries to milk this clock and run it down.
Yeah, they're going to grind it here. I think Terry Hunter looks like he's the lone setback behind the quarterback Ogala. As out of the pistol. Handoff. Hunter bursts to speed. 30 some room to run. Splits two defenders and runs it out to the 45-yard line. Fresh legs of Terry Hunter. Burst to speed all the way to the 45. That's a 22-yard run on 1st and 10.
That's really the first big run the Tigers have had all day. Most of the runs average out to about 5 yards, but that's the first one they've broken off for big pickup there.
This offensive line goes 390, 310, 271, 399, and 352. That's a professional line. Handoff again, goes to Hunter and just pounds it away and leans forward and runs it out to the 49. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Drake Rucker on that last play had a big block to get Hunter free. And now the clock is definitely the ally. Nothing better than Stephen Smith, the second-year head coach here for Lincoln University, would like to see is his team get a nice 6-7 minute drive here and shorten this game in the 4th quarter. 4 in the pattern, twins to each side, turn, straight handoff. Cardinals do a nice job of getting lids to the football, which means helmets, and they'll get it to the 49 on a pickup of 2, brings up a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, you got to give credit to both Hunter and Ferguson on their running game today. But a lot of their success is the result of that offensive line just getting that good initial push. And, they're not making contact until they've already picked up 3 yards. And so you got to give them props. And as you've seen all day, that's just the result of good, hard football and just, doing all the dirty work, those big boys up front.
Yeah, the game is being won in the trenches. And right now the offensive line is getting it done here for Lincoln University. Man in motion, that's Blake Tibbs. Back to throw. Ogala sets up, throws over the middle. It's going to be caught, but short of the 1st and 10. Be about 1.5 yards short of the 1st and 10.
It looks like here comes the punt unit.
On the hit is Brock Geis. 4th down and 2, so the Cardinals get the 3 to get the stop after the short drive. And Bula Graff will go back along with Zach Gaudet to receive this kick from Walkie Bellencourt. Rushes on, end over end. It's going to hit. It'll take a a Lincoln University bounce from about the 25 and be down at the 14-yard line. We'll keep it here. 11:43 to play. 4th quarter. 23-14, Lincoln University. So we talked about the Cardinals' 2 possessions. 3 would be great, but 2 possessions in the 4th quarter. This is the first of those 2 possessions. You need points here.
Yep, and if it does come down to the field goal, Cardinals are kicking with the win, which should be advantageous to them. But first we need to get 7.
They'll mark this at roughly the 14, and that was the last time the Cardinals got it. They went 86 yards when they were at the 14-yard line. Let's see if there's deja vu all over again. Back to throw. Now takes off. Handoff up the middle, not much. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. And that is it. And that was Rael Didell who's checked back in the lineup. He got a couple of carries in the 2nd quarter. 1 went for positive yards. Wyatt Miller comes in with the offensive set, the play. No gain, 2nd down and 10. Snyder, the left-handed QB out of Shawnee Mission East. Sunflower League. Back to throw, throws off his foot. It's going to be nearly intercepted. Ball was up in the air. Closest player was a Lincoln University cornerback in the secondary. And that was Steve Henderson, the sophomore. And now it's 3rd down and 10. Lincoln University has done a nice job with just rushing 3 or 4 and putting some pressure on Snyder. Now the Cardinals face a big play here to try to get a new set of downs on 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, as you mentioned, only rushing 3.
Snyder will roll to the strong side, throw it down the field, one-on-one. It's going to be incomplete. It was a one-on-one coverage about the 42-yard line, but the ball falls incomplete, and the Cardinals are going to have to kick it away.
Yeah, it's a different look for the Cardinals on the offensive line today, and so you wonder if that has a little factor in the success the Tigers have rushing 3.
I think it's a good point because left guard Jake Kapuska out today. That was a big loss on that left guard. It made other players have to move out. Sergio Guevara, the backup left guard, he's out.
Mm-hmm.
So now standing at his goal line is Dalton Dye. He needs that win and see if he can get a boot here. Hassan Muhammad Rogers standing at the 45. There's the kick. Nice high kick, fair catch, and caught. Kind of a circus catch there by Rogers. You don't see that much. You usually see those caught in the breadbasket. This one he had both hands over his head, but makes a catch, and Lincoln University now gets the ball back with 10:41 to play at their own 36-yard line.
Yeah, coaches always get a little sick to their stomach there when you see their return men put their hands over their head to try to field that ball.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if he doesn't, that's a fumble. The only man down there was a Jewell special teams player. I mean, he waltzes into the end zone. So here comes Ogala and company out of the gun. Look for a lot of this, and the handoff being Kimbo Ferguson. And he'll wedge it out past the 40, near the 42-yard line. Pickup of 5 yards. Stay tuned for postgame. We'll go through some scoring plays. We'll have stats of the game as we wrap it up here from Green Stadium on the campus of William Jewell College in this GLVC Saturday afternoon contest. 2nd down and 5. Ball, they marked it back at the 41. Called it 5. 2nd and 5 with 4 in the pattern. Ogala. Hands in front of him, chest high snap, hand off to Ferguson, who does a nice job of putting both arms around that football, not to cough it up, and he'll get it out to the 42.
For all of our mixed martial arts fans out there, Kimbo Ferguson is the son of UFC fighter Kimbo Slice, and I'll tell you, he runs the ball like his dad fights. Mean, low, and hard to stop.
And he is all of that. Impressive runner for this Blue Tigers team. 42-yard line. Need to make the 46. 3rd down, 4. Another play. Big play for this Cardinal defense as they dig in. Fake, throws, going to be caught, and then hit and dropped is Blake Tibbs. They did play action. Tried to get Tibbs on a little wide receiver screen as he cut across the middle of the field, but the Cardinals are there to wrap him up. That'll bring up a 4th down play, and the Tigers will punt it back, the Blue Tigers, with an even 9 minutes. So this is the second possession for this Cardinal team, and this is Bula Graf time.
Yeah, Major Walker there on the stop, and he's shown up today on those big 3rd downs at opportune times.
There's the kick, and it's a wobbly kick off the side of the foot. They did that rugby style, and it takes a William Jewell punt, and we'll see the line of scrimmage was the 46. This is going to be a negative kick, if you can believe that, a negative punt. Going against the wind, but the place kicker, Walkie Bellencourt, hadn't seen him do this all year, all game, did that rugby style as he rolled to the right, and it just went off the side of his foot. As you can see there, hit it about the 50-yard line, took that high bounce, and
the Cardinals have got to capitalize on this.
This was like a negative 6-yard punt. 3-play, 6-yard drive, and the punt was -4. -4-yard punt. Cardinals get a this is like a turnover for William Jewell. 1st and 10, Snyder throws down the field and making the catch. Keelan Vaughn, one-on-one. Thank you very much.
Great play by Keelan there. We've seen him twice now on that right side of the field, right around the same area.
On the coverage was Siobhan Graz, the junior. But now the Cardinals are in the red zone at the 14, needing 2 scores, plenty of time left. Snyder. Look at Vaughn. He's got one-on-one in the corner here again. Bowles a running back. Fake the handoff. Snyder's going to run. Needs to get to the outside and then gets ran and thrown out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. Maybe closer to the 17. That play kind of blew up. Snyder did not just heave it into the end zone. He went ahead and ate it. The Cardinals need 2 scores, so if you can't get 6, you've got to get the field goal here. With 7:47 to play in the fourth quarter, Cardinals trailing 23-14. Snyder looks over his front line, backs up 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Lone setback behind him a couple of yards. Snyder, they'll run option. Snyder's going to keep it 15-10 down to the 5-yard line before he spilled.
Good pickup there by Snyder. He was keeping that the whole way.
Snyder has done that. He's got that weapon.
I'd like to see him tuck that ball in, though, a little bit more when he's running. It makes you a little nervous watching.
Kind of like a loaf of bread out there with one hand. He coughed that ball up. 3rd down, goal to goal, ball about the 6-yard line. Cardinals need 2 scores. No market actually at the 7. Snyder has the football. Looks over at his team out, looking to make a timeout. No, he doesn't take a timeout. They're going to go ahead and run a play. Snyder gets a snap, handoff up the middle, Bowles, and there was confusion. Snyder is not happy with the sideline because Snyder looked over and looked like he wanted to call a timeout, wasn't allowed to do that, and then ran the ball to Ty Bowles, who got it in the middle of the field. I think the Cardinals there were going to try to settle for a field goal, just get 3, but Snyder, talking to a assistant coach there on the sidelines, a little upset that it maybe didn't go for the end zone, but now it's on the leg of Dalton Dye. 4 for 10 from field goals this season. Ball is marked at about a 23-yard field goal. The kick is up, and it is no good. Pushed it to the right. Oh, my. What a tough break there for the Cardinals. Cardinals get the weak punt of minus 4 yards, drive it down to the 7, and get no points on the board. Tough break for William Jewell. Lincoln University takes over.
Yeah, we've just talked about you got to capitalize on those mistakes, and it's not too often you're going to get a negative punt. So that definitely stings for the Cardinals there, and now the clock becomes the enemy again.
4 for 11 for the season for field goals for Dalton Dye, and now Lincoln University's in the driver's seat with 5:54 to play, up 23-14. Golden opportunity for a touchdown, but at least get a field goal. Couldn't get it done, and now Cardinals need a defensive stop or a turnover. Ogala keeps it, and he'll run it out to the 23-yard line, pick up a 3, 2nd down and 7. I come back to the confusion on that play, on that 3rd down play, because you could see that the quarterback Snyder turned to the offensive, to the coaching staff, and had his hands out like wanted to call a timeout to get it set. The Cardinals have all 3 timeouts remaining. You don't want to lead the field here with those timeouts still on the clock here. You want to be able to burn one if you needed one.
Yeah, and it looks like Schneider saw something out there that he either liked and wanted to change the play, or he didn't like. Not getting that timeout really hurt him there.
Gala back to throw, and receiver makes the catch. I think this is going to be a free play. Johnny Johnson makes the catch.
Looked like the Cardinals thought that one of the Tigers linemen jumped early, but must not be the case.
Cardinal off defensive line, can't believe it, but I thought it looked like a defensive lineman jumped into the neutral zone, but I think the head referee called a defensive false start instead of just offsides.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll move it to the 40-yard line and give Lincoln University a new set of downs. Cardinals led early 7-0. At the end of the first quarter, their first points in the first quarter this season, trailed 10-7 at halftime. Then it was 16-7, cut it to 16-14, and then the long pass play and the 1-yard touchdown run. That's where we're at, 23-14. And then some room to run by Terry Hunter. Hunter went into the pile, thought the play was over, bounced out of that, and ran down the far sideline into Cardinal territory, down to the 41.
Yeah, we've kind of seen today Ferguson is their dirty work guy, and then Hunter there is the game breaker, big play man.
They'll mark it officially at the 42-yard line. That keeps the clock running with 4:15 up by 9. With a new set of downs at the 42-yard line in Cardinal territory. Turns, hand off Ferguson straight ahead. He'll wedge it out to the 40-yard line. Again, the ally here is the clock for Lincoln University. Cardinals will be on the road at McKendree next week. Our next two home game and home coverage will be November 3rd, 5 o'clock kickoff, 4:45 pregame against Quincy, and then close out the regular season November 10th, a noon kickoff, 11:45 pregame against Ferris State. Turn handoff Ferguson. They'll spread the field with 4 receivers just to keep you honest, but then just pound the rock to either Ferguson or to Hunter.
Yeah, Ferris State will be a tough game coming up. Where are they currently ranked at in the Division II standings? See if we can find that somewhere.
So timeout on the field called by William Jewell.
Yeah, another top 10 matchup though. They had that early one against Texas A&M Commerce, and they finished one off with Ferris State. So hopefully they can, either close this one out today, grab one at McKendree or Quincy.
Tough way to bookend your schedule here with Texas A&M Commerce, the defending national champions, is your second game, and then another ranked team, Ferris State, at the end of the season. Opportunities here today for the Cardinals, though. Had some opportunities, but give credit to Lincoln University, their ability to just move the chains, and when we look at the time of possession at the end of the game, that'll be telling of what occurred here this afternoon. Because if you can't get your defense off the field, it's tough to score points. And the Cardinals have been their defense has been on the field a lot here this afternoon. 3:12 to play, 3rd down and 5 as the Cardinals burn the first of the third timeouts, or their 3 timeouts. Big play here for Ogala and company. Quarterback gets it. Delay handoff, and the Cardinals were waiting on it. Good play as they wrestle down the ball carrier. Timeout immediately. That was Kendall Spencer, the 6'3" linebacker for the junior. And William Jewell will burn their second timeout. 4th down. A loss of play on that. And so look for Lincoln University to boot it away.
Yeah, the defense has had an odd day today, because for a lot of the game, they give up, or, they stop them and keep them short yards, and then every now and then just one of those big plays breaks loose and hurts them. But overall, I've been very impressed with how the defense has played today.
Yeah, especially, you're right, especially as long as they've been on the field.
Yeah. They have held their own.
And we keep talking about that, but
that's definitely the main storyline of today's game, though, would be time of possession.
Yeah. So back to kick here will be Walkie Bellencourt. And I have a feeling he might do better than a negative 4-yard putt, though the Cardinals could use another one of those.
Yeah, I think they're going to abandon the rugby-style punt and just go back to traditional.
Low snap, and kicks it away. Short kick. Just kind of pooched it down the field to keep the ball in play to run some clock. And now the Cardinals get it at the 15-yard line. It'll be a 33-yard kick and placement. And now the Cardinals need to score quickly with 2:59 to play, trailing by 9 with only one timeout remaining.
Yeah, Schneider's going to be looking for Vaughn. Both big passes have come at the hands of Vaughn today, and you think the Cardinals are going to hope to get him along that right sideline, let him get out of bounds if he picks up some big yardage.
Vaughn's got a couple of catches, one a big catch here that nearly resulted in a touchdown. Schneider out of the gun, 1st and 10, ball rests at the 15-yard line in Cardinal territory. Back to throw out of the shotgun. Pocket collapses. Schneider stays on his feet, then just wings it down the field. This is going to be a jump ball and incomplete. At the 33-yard line, Damari Wilson. I don't know if Wilson was the intended receiver or not, but Schneider just uncorked it. And then we're going to have some extracurricular activity. And that penalty is going to go against Joseph Magdagrill. I think he just lost his head a little bit here, and he'll come out of the game, and that's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, you just got to eliminate those plays. You're winning on the road, 4th quarter. You just got to stay composed, take it to the locker, or take it home with you. Just not blow up there on the field like that.
Referees will confer at about the 35-yard line. That was a dead ball foul back at the 36-yard line in Lincoln University territory. It's another point. So that'll give the Cardinals 15 yards and move it to the 30-yard line. No, you're right. You've got to keep your composure here. You're up by 9. Incomplete pass. And why make that, Little John, and lost his composure, and benefit goes to the Cardinals. 1st and 10 now at the 30. 2:50 to play here in the 4th. Cardinals trail by 9. Schneider back to throw, steps up, throws in the seam, and there's going to be pass interference as Vaughn was the intended receiver. And they're going to get pass interference on Lincoln University's Tylon Oglesby, the freshman cornerback.
I really don't.
Oglesby may be playing because Mangarel just got taken out of the game. And so they went right to Vaughn.
I really don't blame Oglesby there because if you don't stop that play somehow, Vaughn's taking that to the house.
So they'll move at 15. It's not a point of infraction like it is in the pros at the mark of the foul where the foul occurred, the penalty. But it's another 15 yards out to the 45-yard line. A couple of 15-yard gains courtesy of the penalties. So Schneider and company now have it 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. Look for the left-hander to keep heaving it around the field here late in the game. Schneider back, steps up, throws. Going to be caught out in the flat and steps out of bounds immediately as Ethan Weiland, 4th catch of the season. And he'll get it inside of Lincoln University territory at the 41-yard line. And what I liked about that route is that Weiland ran it down and out, caught, stepped out of bounds to stop the clock with 2:33 to play. Now the clock has started again. Cardinals need 2 scores. Knocking on the door at the 41-yard line. So they're going to need a score and then a successful onside kick. Schneider back to throw, 3-man rush, rolls to his left, his strong side. Run pass option and throws it on the run. The catch is going to be made at the 35-yard line, but I think Schneider had ran across the line of scrimmage by about a yard. This one's going to be coming back. There may be a loss of down here as well.
Yep.
That's a backbreaker because the man had made the catch, and that was Wyatt Miller.
Let's see what we got here.
That's exactly what it is. Illegal forward pass past the line of scrimmage, and that penalty constitutes a loss of down. So now it's second down. They'll move it back to the 45-yard line. 2nd and 14. 4-down territory, no doubt about it here. The Cardinals just need to keep the football and try to keep it moving here. With 2:05 and the clock running here in the fourth quarter. Twins on either side, and Snyder straight drop. Steps up in the pocket, throws, and nice one-handed catch. And that's going to be made by Wyatt Miller. 3rd down. Cardinals will save that last time out and right back to the line of scrimmage. Clock continues to run. Trips to the far side, lone setback. Snyder out of the gun at the 41-yard line. Gets a center exchange. Back to throw. Pocket collapses, rolls. Run pass option. Snyder's going to run for it. Tries to turn the corner and does. Gets in there and gets out of bounds and has the 1st and 10. Got ahead of Amani Nelson, who had the angle, but Snyder showed great speed to run away from the cornerback and stop the clock at the 30-yard line with 1:37 to play in the 4th. How big was that missed field goal? And an opportunity when you had it 3rd, the 7-yard line.
Yep. This is why I've always said, in my opinion, college football is the best level of football because 2 minutes left, you can move the ball a lot of yards in a short amount of time.
That's what the Cardinals are trying to do right now. 1st and 10 at the 30. You may take a shot at the end zone here. Where's Keelan Vaughn at? Back to throw Snyder. Snyder sets up, throws across the way and short and skips it. Trying to get it to Damari Wilson, was way underthrown. 2 defenders. Joseph Magdarel is back in the lineup along with Steven Henderson. We're in coverage. Tell you, Snyder can put some air under that ball. His receiver was there, had got away from the coverage, but he just skipped it. That'll bring up 2nd down and stop the clock with 1:32 to play with 1 timeout.
And really, you wonder where this Jewell offense has been all game because they've moved the ball pretty efficiently today, or in this final drive right here.
4 in the pattern, lone set back to the right hip of the QB. Snyder will roll, sets up, needs to get rid of it, and then just throws it to Bowles because he was running out of real estate and felt the pressure. Edwin Durasant, the junior Mike linebacker, was bearing down on Snyder, and that stops the clock. And it'll be 3rd and 10 at the 30-yard line. Dye's longest field goal is 42 yards this season, just 4 for 11. Had a miss earlier this quarter, so you're probably out of field goal range unless you can get some real estate here. You need 2 scores. And now Lincoln University will burn a timeout. They'll talk about it. That's their 2nd timeout. They've got, each team now has 1 remaining. So the Cardinals are going to walk out of here if it doesn't go the Cardinals' way and say, boy, we had some opportunities to get the job done here. And you're right. You're right, Lucas. The offense has had a little bit more giddy up, a little bit more pep in their step here in the second half. And I think that's come because of Will Snyder. Let him do a little bit more running. They ran the option a couple of times. They got him out on the corners for him to use his legs.
Well, as we've seen all year, whenever Snyder has the ball, he just kind of opens up that offense for everybody. Because, he requires someone to be watching him at all times because he does have that ability to run. He's 6'3", so he covers a lot of ground in very few steps. So, you just got to kind of look at the tape and wonder, where that was at in the first half.
Big play here. Need positive yards here. Cardinals do. Need to get something positive here on a 3rd down and 10. Cannot take a QT or can't get a quarterback sack here or trap. Snyder back to throw. Here they come. Snyder sets up, throws an out pattern, and falling down at about the 15-yard line was the intended receiver. I think that was Damari Wilson. He gets up gingerly and walks over, kind of hobbles over to the sideline. Now it's 4th down and 10, ball game right here. No field goal opportunity out of the range of Dalton Dye, so the Cardinals need to get 10, or you can put the win in the column of Lincoln University. With a minute 23 to play here in the fourth quarter. 5 in the pattern, empty backfield for Snyder, 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Gets his center exchange from Vance. Back to throw Snyder. Needs to get rid of it. Throws it over the middle and off the hands of the intended receiver, Wyatt Miller. Right in the hands at the 15-yard line. Would have been enough for the 1st and 10. Couldn't hang on, and that's going to do it.
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic drop there by Miller. On this drive alone, he had that one-handed catch, and he had that catch earlier that was negated because of the, when Snyder crossed the line of scrimmage to make the pass.
So Lincoln University is going to come in here and get their 3rd win of the season, go 2-3 in conference play. I believe their 2nd multi-conference win in a long time. And they're going to get it on the road today. The Cardinals have 1 timeout to play or left in there. And I don't know if they'll use that or not. But again, Ogala still stays in that shotgun formation. He'll turn and just hand it off to Kimbo Ferguson, and he's not going to cough the pill up, so he's going to run it out to the 33, and William Jewell will burn that last time out with a minute 11 left here in the fourth quarter. Again, on the road next week at McHenry, 1 o'clock kickoff. Then November 3rd, back home for the last 2 games of the season. Quincy on November 3rd, 5 o'clock kickoff. We'll be on the air at 4:50. November 10th, Ferris State. Noon kickoff. We'll take the air at 11:45. Partner, it's been fun working with you today. Good game here. 2 pretty evenly matched teams in Lincoln University and William Jewell, and it's just going to go the way of the Blue Tigers today.
Yeah, and really these teams have been pretty even since they both joined the GLVC. Obviously the Cardinals were undefeated against Lincoln in the previous meetings. But those all came down to just one or two scores, and that's kind of what we saw today here too. And it finally just kind of went in the way of the Tigers.
Now Lincoln University will just go into championship formation and take a knee, and that'll just continue to burn the clock. Again, the Cardinals playing a little short-handed on the offensive line today as Jake Kaputska, the junior, 6 foot, 290-pound left guard, did not play today. Sergio Guevara, his backup, the senior, did not play. And so you had to move some players around. Zach Hand went from left tackle to left guard. Jonathan Farmer came in to be the left tackle. And that always causes some confusion, playing some different spots. Takes the knee, and that's going to do it. 25 seconds left. Lincoln will not have to run another play. So Lincoln University will go to 3-5, 2-3 in the conference. William Jewell will fall to 1-6 and 1-4 in the GLVC. Our final score, Lincoln University 23, William Jewell 14. We'll be back to wrap it up after this timeout.
Hospitalhalf.org for details and to sign.
Final score, once again, 23-14, Lincoln University over William Jewell. Scoring summaries. Ty Bowles took it in from 1 yard out. 3:07 left in the first quarter. A 7-play, 49-yard drive. Took 3:46 off the clock. Dalton Dye hit the PAT, and for the first time this season, William Jewell tasted the end zone in the first quarter, and they led 7-0. Terry Hunter, then off a big pass play to Eric Bryce from Henry Ogala in the second quarter, set Lincoln University up at the 1 yard line. 3 plays later, Hunter took it in. Touchdown, Ramirez's extra point, tied it, an 8-play, 39-yard drive at the 4:51 off the clock, and it was 5:33 of the second. We're tied at 7. And then Ramirez hit a field goal from 32 yards out, capping a 9-play, 51-yard drive with just 20 seconds left in the first half. and Lincoln University led 10-7. They made it 16-7. Henry Ogala pass complete to Eric Bryce for 17 yards. Touchdown. PAT was blocked, so William Jewell trailed by 9, 16-7. Cardinals came back at with 5:04 in the third quarter. 6-play, 86-yard drive, their best drive of the afternoon, just taking 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Pass complete to Vaughn, 44 yards and a touchdown. The extra point by Dye up and good. That cut it to 16-14. But then a big drive and a huge pass play again to Eric Bryce of some 48 yards. Put it at the 1-yard line. 3 plays later, Ogala cashed it in. The quarterback at a 1-yard run. PAT was up and good, made it 23-14. William Jewell had some chances late in the game, had a short field goal that was wide to the right, and then ran out of downs late, and that's the final score, 23-14. Well, special thanks to William Jewell Athletic Director Tom Eisenhower, Sports Information Director Jalen Ellison for their assistance. Join us for our next broadcast of Cardinal football, Saturday, November 3rd, as the Cardinals face Quincy. Join me for pregame that is a 5 o'clock kickoff. Join us at 4:45 with the kickoff at 5. Our final score here, again, William Jewell 14, Lincoln University wins it by 9, 23-14. For Lucas Campbell, this is Mark Miller. You've been watching the GLVC Sports Network.